What up, folks? Once again, it is indeed your boy Tim, the handsome liberal, depending on who you're asking for us. A little bit early today. Nevertheless, we are here. President Trump, for all intents and purposes, had what? Listen, I'm going to. If you're judging the commander in chief fairly, this has been a good day for him. This has been a good day for President Trump if you are judging him fairly. Now, look, there are folks who are going to be critical and favorable to President Trump no matter what. Let me make sure I switch over everything to the proper system. I got a couple of you guys on, what do you call it, on Bluetooth or whatever. I want to make sure I got you on Wi-Fi. Okay, but there is no denying that President Trump had a good day today. In fact, this could ultimately lead to him having a good week. But, leave it up to President Trump to find a way to mess up a good thing. But right now, there's no denying President Trump, for all intents and purposes, has had a good week. So start to the week. Today is only Monday. There's plenty of room to mess this up. What are we talking about in regards to a good week? Well, I'm fairly certain most of you folks have watched the news today, watched the news over the weekend, and what's going on in the Middle East is, it's 100% favorable to President Trump. Hell, even the Palestinians are quite pleased with what's going on. So, and President Trump, make no mistake about it, is getting the credit for the ceasefire, the end of this conflict. Now the video footage does not measure up to the amount of audio you're hearing there, because this is a big freaking crowd. This is an aerial shot, which has to be tens of thousands of folks. This is in Tel Aviv. This was yesterday. This is in yesterday in Tel Aviv. And I mean, this shit looks like the March on Washington from the Martin Luther King era. This is a big crowd celebrating the end to this conflict and the freeing of their hostages. Nevertheless, when you look at the size of this crowd, and I don't want to be conspiratorial, but I just noticed it while I'm talking to you folks. When you look at the size of this crowd and you hear them chanting in unison, "Thank you, Trump." Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump. One thing that's undeniable, there's a lot of people in this crowd that are not saying "Thank you, Trump." I'm just going to tell you that. For the size of that crowd, there's no way that "Thank you, Trump" chant should be that low. And that's a really big crowd. So apparently everybody is not yelling "Thank you, Trump." But perhaps the folks that are in the front near the microphones are yelling it. But regardless of how you feel about it, it is a good day for President Trump. I don't think that is deniable. I think that in addition to that, folks like Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel kind of put the icing on the cake.
Mr. President, thank you for all you have done for us. I have submitted your nomination to be the first non-Israeli recipient of the Israel Prize, Israel's highest award. As to that other prize, just a question of time, you'll get it. But I want you to get the Israel Prize, our highest award, to our greatest.
So he's going to get an award. He didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. That's what Benjamin Netanyahu is alluding to. Trump did not get that prize, but pretty certain he's going to get the nation's highest award from Israel. And as you hear Netanyahu state, they don't normally give that to a non-Israeli. So President Trump is about to at least make history with receiving that award as an American from the nation of Israel. So this is a good week for President Trump. I want to tackle this from a standpoint of, should the Democrats credit? Should the Democrats give President Trump credit? 20 living hostages were rescued. And I don't know if you've seen the hostages coming home, but I guess the best way I can say it is it was indeed a tearjerker. It was a tearjerker to see these folks coming home. Many of them are underweight, malnourished. They've been held since October 7th of 2023. 2 years they've been in captivity, not knowing if they were ever going to be seen alive again. This is in their name. This is in their language over there, so I don't understand what she's saying. But the way she's jumping up and down and what she's repeating sounds very similar to "Thank you, Jesus." If you listen to her and you see how she's behaving in the background, obviously one of his relatives, you see the individual coming home. It sounds like she's probably thanking some sort of God. Almost sounds like she's saying, "Thank you, Jesus." Yes, and I agree with you, Gangster Grandma. She is incredibly happy. Understandable. So President Trump is the one that took charge to make this happen. Are we looking at Israeli MAGA? Are we looking at Israeli MAGA on the screen right there? Let me know. And that's obviously not the only one with 20 hostages being returned.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. עצם חיים שלי, האור שלי, הלב שלי.
You don't need to know what they're saying. You don't need to understand that language to feel the emotion from what you're seeing there. That's due to President Trump. All of that's due to President Trump, even if you hear the leader of Israel speaking. And the people in Palestine are also cheering and going crazy too. And it appears, I'm not here, but it does appear as if the folks in Palestine are also to some degree crediting President Trump. Now, it wouldn't be a surprise to believe that some of the folks in Palestine also credit America for why that shit went on for so long. But they're war weary. They're losing people all around them. They have nowhere to live. They can barely find food. They just want it to end. So if President Trump gave them some sort of an ending towards they're going to be thankful for him as well. But it does appear as if the people in Palestine are also happy that President Trump brought this to an end. And now just imagine that happening 20 different times. 20 different times that happened. So is it time the Democrats, the Free Palestine, and the genocide crowd give President Trump credit, at least for today? Now, make no mistake about it, Benjamin Netanyahu had made it clear that he was not going to give Palestine back to its people. The only reason they have that country back in its dilapidated state, I might add, is because of President Trump. Netanyahu was not going to give them their country. He was going to evict them all, if not take their lives. They are there because of President Trump. Many of them are alive because of President Trump. And they're likely about to begin getting fed and rehoused, likely because of President Trump. So I want to hear from you folks. I understand the nature of this. We're going to hear from both sides, but is it time the Democratic Party give President Trump credit for what could be a historic accomplishment? Looking in the comments real quick, handsome stubby fingers, Tim, don't. And also that is mission accomplished from Michigan's mission accomplished coming from Mission Impossible, best movie ever. Well, in this case, it's President Trump. Now, obviously, you guys, some of you folks are old enough to remember this. The backdrop is President on a Navy ship with this sign that turned out to be a pretty, a pretty big thorn in the side of the President W. Bush's administration. But in President Trump's case, it looks like it actually may be a big victory for him. So we're going to go ahead and start the show off. You guys know how we run it. We don't block, ban, or censor anything. This is going to be our topic for today. There may be other things come up, but this is going to be our topic for today because this is what is all in the news around the world. Around the world, President Trump is getting credit for this. You hear him chanting, "Thank you, Trump." You see folks coming home to these tearful reunions. You hear Benjamin Netanyahu and I believe a few other world leaders gave President Trump credit. And I want to start up by asking, could Biden have got this done? Do you think if we were on the second term of Biden, or better yet, even Kamala Harris, do you think this would have been over with by now? Do you think that Biden or Kamala Harris could have pulled this off? I see D. Wee says, hell no. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and start the program. We don't block, ban, or censor. We are, always have been, MAGA friendly, always will remain MAGA friendly. Nevertheless, liberals are welcome on the program as well. If you enjoy dialogue from all sides of the aisle without any censorship coming from the host, you're in the right place. Follow the program if you happen to be watching us on Instagram or if you happen to be watching on TikTok. We are currently also live on Tim Liberals on Facebook. That's where all of our callers will come from. If you're watching on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We're here generally most weekdays. Biden secured the release of 140 hostages, says Molly Ma. You know something? I tell you something. This is where Trump gets the credit for. Talking goes a long way. Taking credit, patting yourself on the back, because Biden did get the females back home and every damn thing. Biden didn't get a damn bit of credit for any of that. Trump is going to go down in history as the one that got this stuff done. Looking in the comments, this is a big clown show, says Julius Barnes. Says this is a big clown show. No way you really believe that this is a sincere act aimed at long-term resolution. So what are you suggesting? This is going to be a short-term fix and it's going to break back out again? Let me go straight to the box. Vegetable Biden had no clue what was happening in the world. All right, let me go straight to the box. Tap the screen. You guys got to do better than that. Get us on up to 10,000. We'll take the first call at 5. Tap the screen, get the likes on up. We'll start off the program. We'll go ahead and take it on the chin right away. Gangsta Grandma.
I can't stand your dumb fucking ass. You over here is cupcaking. Oh, this was Biden. This was Trump. No, it was Biden, bitch. Biden. Okay? All this started under Biden. He just followed up on it. Yes.
Who did it end under? Who the hell did it end under?
It didn't matter. This was Biden,
no.
dumbass.
Who
Biden
did it?
started it. Biden stopped it. No, you're not going to do that shit. No, you are not. You're not going to flop tonight. Get that cock out your fucking mouth.
This is not
tonight. It was under Biden.
No, I think you're.
Yes, it was. That's why the boom boom stopped. Because then they broke the deal once again, remember? And then he stopped the boom booms. Yes, this was Biden. All he did was followed up on it with the other countries. Don't go there, you dip fuck.
Are you just trying not to give Trump credit?
No, it's the truth. This was Biden's.
Okay.
He just followed up with it.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Let me ask you something. If this is Biden's job, what the hell are they yelling? That don't sound like thank you, Biden.
Because they're fucking stupid. You really think Trump it took years, a couple of years for this shit. That's why Joe Biden got over 140 people out. This was all in the works. Then when right before brought in Trump in it. Remember that?
When Biden left
you
office,
forgot about that, didn't you?
When
you forgot about that, didn't you?
No.
Shut the fuck up. You forgot about that, huh? When they brought him into the shit, right?
okay, your setup.
That is it.
No, it's
Because
not
they
it.
brought in Trump. They brought him in, remember? And then he said, "Oh, we're gonna stop this in 24 hours." No, remember when Biden's team brought him into it? Yes, they did.
They came home today. Are you saying that Trump didn't do a damn thing at all?
He just followed up on it. All the shit was all in the place, Tim. Damn, are you that stupid? Are you that uptight? Are you that his fucking ass that just his cock so bad it's just dripping from your fucking mouth that you think it's on him? It was Joe Biden when they brought when Joe Biden's team brought his team up in there, and they started Spokes was talking about it, and he brought him in. Yes, he did.
When Joe Biden left office, the war was still going on. When Trump leaves office, the war is over with.
No, it's not over with. This is just the first stage. This happened before, Tim, when he brought the 140 of them back. Tim, you think it's all the way over? Are you that fucking special ed dropout? I swear to God, some blue has it too.
Okay,
you really think this shit's over with?
Yes.
Oh, no,
let me say it this way. Obviously, President Trump has a much better relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu than Biden did. I don't believe.
Oh my God, you're so stupid.
You don't believe that?
Oh my God, that's why he say he likes the fucking uneducated. That's why he say he likes the fucking uneducated. You are such an uneducated fucking moron. Oh God, you fucking are.
Okay, well, you don't need to put it on God, but let me ask you this:
I thought you wasn't religious.
I'm not. Do you agree? Hold on. Let's have a conversation, baby. Let's have a conversation, sweetie. Now, let me ask you something.
I'm not your sweetie.
You can be.
I can't be fake like you.
Hold on, shorty. How about that? Let me just ask. Let me just ask it to you this way: between Joe Biden and President Trump, which one of those leaders has a better relationship with Israel?
Both of them don't.
No, they don't.
They both don't have a good relationship because what's his name? The one that you just said, I can't even say his name. He don't like Trump.
Based on what?
He just walks all over Trump. What are you talking about?
Did you not just hear what Benjamin Netanyahu said?
Because he's kissing ass, so he won't get convicted. Like Donald Trump went over there and told him, don't give him charges.
No to Libby.
Kissing each other's ass.
No to Libby in the comments says. No to Libby in the comments says ghetto gangster is clueless. Says no to Libby in the comments. Now you're gonna tell me you think
that be that ghetto. You won't say it to my face though.
You're gonna tell me you don't believe there's any difference between Biden and the relationship they have with Israel.
No, Biden was harder on him. Biden was harder on Israel when he stopped the boom booms and stuff. Get your facts straight before you start talking.
Well, if you're going to suggest...
This all wasn't because of Trump, and Trump was talking. No, all for over a year. And then when Trump got elected, Biden's team brought him in.
If you're going to suggest all this was in the works and Trump does not have a better relationship with Netanyahu than Biden, then why the hell is Netanyahu constantly saying that Trump is the best friend of Israel that they have ever had? Netanyahu said that.
Oh my God! Do you know what he is just building Trump's ego, bitch? What the fuck? Are you that stupid? They're too narcissistic. So both of them are idiots.
Maybe he's...
And they just build each other up for each other to kiss ass to.
How about
this shit in return?
How about maybe?
Really let me tell you something. Do you really think Gaza is safe now? Do you really think that is? It's going to be resorts now.
I think it might be safer than it was under Biden.
Nope. It's going to be resorts. Biden want a two-party state. Trump don't.
Hold on a second. Handsome Stubby Finger says, where is that Apollo clown that should be coming out at this time? Saying it's time to get off stage microphone. Also, I think Kamala Harris could have done it better. Really? You think Kamala Harris would have ended this war?
Because she wanted a two-party state. Trump don't. Trump wants to put a damn. Trump wants to do what hotels and shit on Gaza Strip. You guys really think he's joking with that? Why do you think they both are? Why do you think Israel's so damn happy? Let me think about it. He's not gonna do this shit for nothing. He's in it for something.
Well, maybe he's in it for humanity.
Oh, Trump, really?
I'm just saying.
Humanity?
The man is.
Look at he's doing to his own damn people. Do you really think he's doing it for humanity? Get the cock out your mouth.
The man is on
Get it
video.
out your mouth.
The man
Get
is.
it out your mouth.
The man is on video saying he wants to get into heaven. Maybe he's trying to make amends.
He ain't getting no job for heaven. There's a special place in hell for him.
He just saved 20 lives, Gangsta Grandma.
20. Biden did 140. Thank you.
Okay.
And what?
Do you at least give him credit for the 20 damn people he brought home?
No. Because he's doing something, but it's more to it, Tim. There's more to it. Why is Israel so happy now all of a sudden? They're all happy? Because they're going to make Gaza a fucking hotel and shit. Watch what I say. He's in it for something. This really isn't. This is not going to be good for Gaza. This really isn't going to be good for Gaza. And I feel so bad because you are hyping up people thinking, oh, it's a win. No, it's not.
Are you really going to tell me? Are you really going to tell me that the man is responsible for personally bringing home 20 people, keeping them alive, and you're not going to give him no credit for that? No credit for saving 20 lives.
No, because he's going to fuck over Gaza. He's going to fuck over the Gaza's people. Yes, he is. He wants something. This white man is the devil. He's a white teeth devil. He's a smotsy. What do you think he wants? Do you really think he loves the Palestine people? He don't even like his own people. He don't like black and brown people. I mean, step back. Get the cock out your mouth. Quit dripping down cooked protein and really think about it. Why is Israel so fucking happy?
If President Trump was the devil, as you say, he wouldn't have tried. Then he would not have ended the war. The fact that he ended the war should make him.
He didn't end this war. Well, for one, Biden started the shit, and I'll give him a little credit for what ending it. It's not over yet. It's not over. This is the first phase.
Okay, well,
I'm telling you, something big is going to happen.
Well, can you at least wait till that happen before you start criticizing the guy ahead of time?
No. I'm not gonna see, unlike you a bluffer. You a kiss ass. You need validation from the white man. You want a validation from the white man. Oh, Tim, you know what? I really want to be at peace. We gotta be cordial. No, bitch. I'm not cordial to the white tea devils. No, I would never bow down to the white tea man, especially the one in the fucking office. I'm never gonna suck his cock like you are. I'm never gonna have the protein dripping from my fucking mouth. You got me fucked up. Chocolate protein dripping from my mouth before the white tea man is.
Shannon Kipling in the comments says, can a liberal debate without insults? Foodzilla says, can you please stop cussing?
Insults. I'm telling him the fucking truth. He is a fucking little fluffer.
There is no fluffing here. We're giving the man.
Yes, it is. Oh, give him credit. Giving this man credit, because what's going to end up happening is Gaza's going to fucking fall. People are going to get kicked out of the fucking homes and stuff, and he's going to make resorts. Why do you think his son-in-law is over there?
I don't know.
Why do you think his son-in-law was over there?
I don't know if you realize it, Gangsta Grandma, but Gaza had already fallen back to them.
He didn't give it back to him. Are you stupid?
Yeah, 600 food trucks are going into Gaza every day. Because of Trump now.
You know what? Let me tell you something. All hell's going to break loose. Because why do you think he gave that Middle Eastern idiots a fucking damn strap over here for the planes and stuff? There's something bigger. You got to step back and look. There's something bigger going to happen.
I'm looking, but you just...
Something bigger is going to happen. Israel's too damn fucking happy.
Okay, well,
Israel's too happy.
I'm looking. By the way, folks, tap the screen, get the likes up to 10,000. Hold on a second. Let me run the damn program before you insult me. Tap the screen, folks. Get the likes up to 10,000. Feel free to help your boy. Feel free to help your boy get the hat mustache go. Appreciate the support. Before Gangsta Grandma, you literally come across, as they say, would not give him credit if he cured cancer. 20 lives were saved.
He want to cure cancer. He don't like people. Why would he cure cancer?
He's a
stupid idiot.
He just saved.
Well, he want to cure cancer because he thinks the shots and measles and what is it, autism comes from Tylenol. No, he won't do that.
Lewis, appreciate the hat mustache, Lewis.
He's too fucking ignorant.
The man saved 20 lives and you want to criticize him. How does that make you look?
You know what's going to make you look? Like a biggest fucking asshole when he comes to fucking find out we're going to turn Gaza into a fucking strip club. How about that? And then you'll come back, oh, you was right. Something bad's going to happen.
If that happens...
And that's what your cock is in your fucking mouth.
If that happens, I'll come back and indefinitely concede. But right now, the man has done good today. Damn it, get a man credit for doing good.
No, I'm not going to kiss his ass. You're going to kiss his ass. Go get on your knees. That's all you're good for. Get the whips. Yes, master.
This ain't got nothing to do with kissing ass or race or any of that.
Yes, it is. Because you know what? If the motherfucker's not even treating his own damn people right, he's in the military and all fucking damn in our fucking cities and stuff. You think he's over there doing good? Do you really think so, Tim?
I seen 20 people saved from potentially being indefinitely taken hostage, or maybe even dying in the tunnels of Gaza.
Do it for the good. I'm telling you, Tim, he's got something in it for him. It's not good.
You know something? I don't give a damn what he has in it for him. If I'm sitting there, if this is my mom in the back jumping up and down and I'm home.
No, I'm not going to give him credit because he's going to fuck him over. Israel and him is going to fuck them over. They are.
If that man brings me home and my mom is up back, if my mom...
Other countries up there this shit too.
You see this woman right here? You see this woman right here? You see this woman right here? If I'm home and my mom is jumping up and down saying, thank you, Jesus, I don't give a damn what's in it for him. I know what's in it for me, my life. He gave this man his life back, gave his mom.
He can't do it by himself, so shut the fuck up.
Why won't you give this man credit?
Now. It was other countries too, you dumbass. It wasn't just him.
Why do you?
He wasn't the big almighty fluffer. No, it wasn't.
How do you
respond? But you know what, though? You know what, Tim? You're going to regret everything because you're bowed down to the white man, and he's going to fuck these people over, and it's going to hurt everybody. All the Palestine, this ain't over. I'm telling you, Tim. If he can fuck his own people over, and the United States to bring him in, he's doing something, and he got something in return. He did. He got a $4 million jet. Now they got a base over here. Now he's so-called got this, got 20 people out. There's something in return.
Are you even happy they came home?
What are you talking about?
The hostages. You're talking about Qatari jets. You're talking.
He came home.
You're talking about you. You were literally.
The Palestine people is going to pay the price now. Don't you understand that? Do you really think Trump is a nice guy and Trump is going to do good for these people? No, he's going to turn them into resorts. He's going to kick the motherfuckers off the land. Watch what I say.
This man brings him when you literally are criticizing him. You're criticizing him for everything but giving him credit for what he actually did.
Nope. Because you know why? Because it's in the devil's work. They're going to pay the price for something, Tim. He made an AI video. He's been telling people. He told people from day one, he wants to go over there. He wants to resettle them. He wants to build on it. What you guys don't take from what he says and to value, do you? You just think he's just talking shit. He's meaning what he fucking says, like he's told us. If you guys listen, he said he was going to bring the troops in. He's doing it. He said he was going to turn Gaza into fucking motels and hotels. He said it. Take it for what he said, you dumb fucks.
All right. Gangsta Grandma, I gotta move it on.
I
Appreciate it.
bet you do. Quit bluffing.
There's no
And you know
fluffing here.
what, Tim? For real. Take it for what he said. He said he was going to turn Gaza into the shit, Tim. He said it. It's God's my witness. You heard him say it.
I heard him say it, but I see people home. Appreciate you coming through. By the way, folks, tap the screen. We'll go to the next caller. Get us on up to 15,000. You wonder why American men are going out of the country to find ladies. William Long says, you wonder why American men are going out of the country to find ladies. What are you insinuating, William? Tap the screen. Get us up to 15,000. This is the handsome liberal, depending on who you ask. Appreciate the TikTok cap there. Handsome, who the hell just sent me that? Would that be the handsome conservative? Hell yeah, it would. Thank you for support. Going back to the box, you don't have to like Donald Trump, but he is the reason this deal went through. Yes, there are others. And I agree with you, Zohar, I think that says, there are other people that played a part in this as well. But I'm going to agree with your comment. Whether you like Trump or not, 20 people were brought home today alive. And I think everybody involved cites President Trump as the chief negotiator, the role. President Trump did this. Why doesn't he get credit for it? Why can't he get credit for this? These people are alive because of him. They're home because of him. Their parents, you see their families screaming and thanking what sounds like thanking Jesus because of him. For God's sake, you're looking at Israeli MAGA right there. Let me go back to the box. So continue on the program. I saw that Apollo clown. Tap the screen. Let me go back to the box. So continue on with Flame Train CBD. Good evening, Flame Train. What do you mean by that, Ali? It grows his channel. I don't know about that. I'm pissing out some people. Flame Train, good evening.
How you doing, brother?
I'm hanging around like Jesse Jackson at a Klan meeting. So, what do you think? Does President Trump deserve credit for this?
Yeah, man. Like, it don't matter who's in there when it happened. Bring them people home like that. Yeah, you deserve credit. I mean, that took some work and some finagling, and man, I mean, people don't want to give Trump credit for nothing.
Why do you think that is when you got this playing out on worldwide television where everybody's thanking the guy? And we do got my last call is not the only one that doesn't want to give him credit. Why do you think that is?
Honestly, man, I think it's hatred. There's too many human beings on the face of the earth with too much hatred in their heart these days. Like, if Biden would have brought them people home, I would have applauded him. And I'm not a Biden fan. Like I've been on here before, man. I'm right in the middle. I'm gonna vote for whoever I think is best every time. But we gotta be more sympathetic as far as being humans. And when we see something good being done, we need to call it what it is, man. We see something bad being done, we need to call it what it is.
So now you made the point. The reason that you personally perceive they're not giving him credit, even though this is definitely something that is an accomplishment, is likely to be due to pure hatred. Why do you think people hate him so much?
Honestly, I think it's because there's so many people that are so hardcore left that they know that there's not a candidate out there right now in the near future that's going to be able to take office with this whole MAGA movement. To be honest.
Well, let me ask you this though: with President Trump, unless something alters the Constitution, he's only supposed to be able to run as president until the end of 2029, January 2029. Somebody. So who do you see? Now, I hear you saying on the Democrat side, there's nobody really there. Who do you see as taking the reins from President Trump and leading MAGA forward?
Honestly, J.D. Vance with Trump as the vice president.
You think he would be suitable as a replacement for Trump? You think he has the same aura, you know, the same adoration and love for MAGA that Trump has? You think he can pull it off?
I think Trump is grooming him because like JD Vance is you know, he came from like a small town in Ohio, served in the military, just down to earth type of dude. And I honestly think in this next election, yeah, it's gonna be JD Vance and Trump's gonna run as the vice president with him.
I don't. Is that legal? I don't think that's legal because you can't.
No, it's legal. You can actually do it. The crazy thing is we've had two presidents that have served more than 2 terms. We had a president served 3 terms and one that served 4 terms.
Yeah, but they changed the law so you could only run twice. I mean, FDR was, I think, 4 times, but they since changed the law.
Right.
But you're saying if Trump is put in as the vice president, which means that he's going to be serving it in at least a vice presidential capacity. Do you feel he would be viable, you know, approaching 90 years old?
If they just let him take care of the financial side of things, I think it'd be cool. Because like I think he'd be more useful if he would sit back sometimes and not say so much. Not be on Twitter so much.
I think that's how he won. I don't think you're going to get President Trump to sit back and not say anything. That's been very successful. His mouth is why he's where he's at.
Yeah, that's a big part of the reason too. And I think a lot of it is because it was so refreshing because we don't see many politicians exactly what's on their mind and say it with no filter.
Yeah, he does do that. But when you say you said you would rather he sit back and and just run things on the financial side. Let me ask you, because he's been in office now approaching 9 months, I think it is. How are you feeling financially? How are you feeling about the current finances in this country, the current economy, the current state of affairs with Americans' finances, savings, interest rates, inflation? How are you feeling with the current stance on that?
I feel good. It all kind of depends on where you live, in my opinion, because you know, I've got family members that live in different states, like up north in Wisconsin and places like that. Stuff ain't so good there. I live in Tennessee. But here, man, things have gradually declined as far as price. I'm like, how much do you pay for a gallon of gas? Where you at right now for regular?
Well, Chicago, I'm in Chicago, so a lot of that's going to be attributed to state and city local taxes. So you can't really use it. If you got to be away from Chicago, Pennsylvania, California. Them are not good places to ask that question because the taxes are insane.
Yeah, gas has went down a lot here since he took office. I mean, on average, I mean, you pay about $2.55 a gallon.
What was it like in your area under Biden?
Oh my God, upwards of $4 and something a gallon.
Wow! So you've seen gas drop as much as almost cut in half, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, basically.
Wow.
Now, egg prices, that was a big thing. You know, everybody was having a fit over the eggs. Egg prices have went down. Groceries have went down. Now, the one thing that hasn't went down, though, across the board that I'm wanting to see go down as far as financial stuff is like interest rates for housing loans and things like that, because you know we got this next generation coming up. I've got an 18-year-old about to be 19, and it's kind of hard, you know, without a wife that's going to work too, and you know, for young people to go out and buy their own stuff and you know make it on their own.
But you have seen the staples. You said gas and groceries in your neck of the woods. Gas and groceries has went down in price.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you had to give President Trump a letter grade in his first 8+ months, A, B, C, D, or F, like we used to get back in our school days, what would you give him so far?
So far, I say a B, because ain't nothing perfect, and I don't think nobody's gonna be perfect.
Has he done anything wrong in your eyes, other than the talking that you don't like?
No, not that I could like really put my finger on.
So then I'm hearing at least a B+. That should be at least a B, maybe an A-. I mean, if he hasn't done anything wrong.
He has done a really good job, but I want to see him do more because I expect more out of him because of everything that he promised us, you know, when he came in. And I think there's big things to come still, and we're just kind of playing a waiting game right now, honestly.
Fair enough. So, but you do see him as meeting most of his campaign promises.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
he tries like hell until he gets blocked on a lot of stuff. You know, that's got to go through Congress.
What
and the
about,
House and
speaking of being black, what about the fact that the country is currently, the government's shut down right now?
It's about to open back up from what I've been reading in the articles that I've been seeing here in the past couple hours. There's a bunch of Democrats caving in about the vote with open it back up.
I'm going to advise you to be cautious on that. I'd be curious. I don't see. I mean, listen, Trump and the Democrats. You know, Trump said he hates the Democrats. I'd be really curious to see what has caused the Democrats to side with Trump and open the government back up. Because you and I both know if that happens, Trump is not going to give those Democrats much credit. So I'd be curious to know what and vote with President Trump. I haven't heard that. I don't know where you got that from. I have not heard that.
Well, I've said this was like just before I got on here and started watching you. I seen some posts from Fox, MSNBC, and NBC on Facebook. Just
Really?
scrolling through.
And it's indicating that the Democrats are likely to work with Trump and get the government back up on track.
Yeah, but I think the biggest reason that they're wanting to do it is because right now, while it's shut down, there's a bunch of things he can change, and when he changes them while the government's shut down, there ain't going to be shit they can do to turn it back around.
That's true, but that also makes me wonder, why would you work? Okay, you heard him say he's going to fire a bunch of people, which he actually has done now, and he made it clear, I'm going to be targeting Democratic programs and things like that. So it's like, why would you come to the table and work with a guy that is negotiating with you by threatening to hurt you? I mean, he's not offering the Democrats anything. He's basically saying either you work with me or I'm going to keep punishing you.
I think a lot of it is him, the way he's wording things. He shouldn't word certain things the way he does. But like, I can give you an example. You know, we were I can't remember what country it was, but I got through watching the video earlier. We was given $3 billion a year for trans insect research.
I don't know if that's true. I would love to see a source. Send me what you got.
I really want to dig up some paperwork on it too and see if it's true, man. Because some of the stuff that I keep hearing that's getting shut down, I'm like, we really spending money on this shit?
Yeah, some of that came out of Elon Musk's Doge findings. A lot of that's not true. I mean, you know, so I would just simply say proceed with caution on some of that stuff. Because, you know, first thing to do when you hear that stuff is go to whatever your favorite search engine is and fact check it. Because a lot of that stuff, not only the stuff they were finding that was allegedly fraudulent, but even the amounts they were given that they were saving. Do your homework on that. A lot of that stuff was not true.
I try my best to take everything with a grain of salt until I come to a full conclusion about it. This is just what I heard recently today. And I'm like, man, what are they talking about? And they was talking about all kind of other weird programs. I'm like, man, if this is going on, it does need to be shut down.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but I would say certainly transgender is a trigger word for MAGA. So anything you hear MAGA release in regards to transgender, fact check it, because they anywhere the transgender community shows up or anything about transgenderism they don't like. So fact check that. Because it can certainly move mountains with MAGA. If you can tell MAGA this has some kind of transgender signature on it, you can get them to do whatever because they don't want that shit around. So absolutely do your homework on that.
I can tell you the main reason MAGA gets so triggered about that. The majority of us are Christians. I don't knock anybody's religion, no matter what religion you are. But in the Bible, what are the only non-binary beings that exist in the Bible?
I can't speak on that. I don't know enough about the Bible to speak on it.
It's demons. So the way we look at it as Christians, demon possessed, and they're being influenced by outside entities. And
wow,
as a Christian, that's the way I look at it.
Demon. So you look at transgender individuals as demon possessed.
Yeah, in a lot of cases. Not all cases, but most, yes.
So have you ever seen Miss Doubtfire?
Yeah. Williams movie.
Yeah, did you see Robin Williams is playing a demon?
No, he wasn't playing a demon, but he damn sure been on that casting couch before. I tell you that, just like the rest of Hollywood.
What about Caitlyn Jenner? Demon?
Yeah, definitely, and weird.
Okay, fair enough. Is this our first time talking here on Flame Train?
No, sir. I've talked to you on Instagram. I've
Okay.
talked to you on YouTube, just about every platform, man. I like watching your show.
My apologies, man. You're always welcome back.
No,
Great conversation. I do got to move it on, but demons, I'm learning. You're teaching me something. I don't agree with you on that, but you're entitled to your opinion on this show anytime, man. I appreciate you coming
Yes,
through.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Anytime. All right, by the way, Dencal, appreciate that. Thank you very much for showing that support. Folks, help your boy get that hat and mustache go. Appreciate those who are supporting the program. Zachary Smith, how many Palestinians were released by Israel going through the same thing and were supposed to feel bad for Israel? Get real. I don't know if anybody's, appreciate the hat and mustache. Whoever just sent that, and it doesn't tell me. Why isn't that? C. Osby, thank you. Help your boy get the hat and mustache. Thank you, folks, for that, helping me get that go. When you say nobody's supposed to feel bad for Israel, I don't think it's a case. Well, no, I guess you're right. There are people who feel bad for Israel. But I know on the left, there's no, on the left, there is little to no sympathy for Israel. However, the 20 Israelis that were taken hostage, how can you not feel sympathy for them? How could you not feel sympathy? They had shit to do with what was going on. When Hamas broke into Israel and started, unaliving folks, basically murdering them, and then they were also taking folks hostage. The folks are out enjoying themselves at a concert or, out in their homes. They've broken people's homes and snatched them up. No matter how you feel about Israel, them were regular, innocent citizens that have nothing to do with Netanyahu. They had no control over what was going on. It doesn't matter what country you have opinions about, whether we're talking Russia, whether we're talking North Korea. The citizens don't have shit to do with what's going on. These were just basic citizens that were snatched up at gunpoint and taken hostage for 2 years. You gotta feel sympathy for them, even if you don't give a damn about Israel. Looking in the comments, young man, you mean Trump is doing good things because he is a good Christian? Yeah, we know, says Salty Colonel. Jews will call Hashem God, yet I learned today that Israel is 3, meaning so. If you're Jew, you struggle with God. If you're Christian, you are striving. That's well above my religious pay grade. I'll go back to the box, tap the screen, go ahead and get us up to 35,000. Going to the box, we'll continue on with the one and only Dencal. Good evening, Dencal. Welcome to the program. Now, we're going to give President Trump a little bit of credit today for this, right, Dencal?
No.
None at all. 20 hostages.
No.
Safe.
No, I can feel happy for the people of Israel who got their families back. I don't have to give Trump credit for that happening.
Would it have happened without him?
I don't know what the future might have held. Like we can all get on here and say the only way, first of all, would the hostages have ever been there if he wasn't the president?
Well, he wasn't. 2 years ago, he wasn't. They took him under Biden.
And I'm saying, like, the all of the stuff he set up with the Abraham Accords, with moving the embassy and all of that stuff, that inflamed the Hamas and the Palestinian movements over there.
I get your point. I get your point. But I mean, listen, Hamas and Israel, their feud goes back way before Trump even came on the scene.
Exactly.
I mean, all the way back to Yasser Arafat and all this. So
exactly.
But
so,
I mean,
so do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think it's over? Do you think it's peace in the Middle East now? The way he's over there tap dancing? Do you think all of that shit from the Bible, all of the shit that it says that there's going to be constant battles in the Middle East until Jesus comes back, all of that's over now because Trump is there?
But Trump says the first time we've done this in 3,000 years. Look, being candid,
ignoring,
no.
ignoring all of the other peace treaties and pacts that have been broken along the way. Yes,
Yeah.
he can say that.
Yeah, being candid, no. I mean, you got Israelis sending out pagers that explode. I mean, how many? God knows how many innocent lives they took while they were going after Hamas. No, there's people that hate Israel all over Gaza. I mean, so yeah, all you need is one. All you need is one of them to do something stupid. I mean, there's people that don't. You don't blew up 90% of the structures in Gaza, killing all sorts of innocent people. People are returning home to find their grandma under the rubble and shit. No, it's going to happen some more. It ain't over.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it
so
ain't
all
over.
of the people
Yeah.
that were regular Palestinians, now deep down in their heart, they part of Hamas now. These people done assassinated our children when we was trying to find rice and food and stuff. Like, this stuff is not over. People
However,
clapping and he holding his big.
but there's a really big but, Cal. They took one hell of an ass whooping for what Hamas did 2 years ago. No matter how angry they feel at Israel, they don't want to go back to that again. They don't have anything, they don't have any structure in place to take on Israel for the foreseeable future. And most likely Israel's never going to let them get enough to take them on. So they know, certainly under Netanyahu, I don't know who replaces Netanyahu. They're going to have an election over there probably in about a year. But they know under Netanyahu, he will kick their ass to oblivion. Even if they are super angry, they're not going to do anything under Netanyahu. That guy was trying to wipe them out completely.
Look, I understand that. But if you understand how combat and wars are fought, when you are severely undermanned, you guerrilla warfare tactics. You don't just say, I'm not going to do nothing because they might destroy me. That's
What happened was guerrilla. October 7th was kind of guerrilla warfare tactics, was it not?
Right. And what was happening before that? When people would go into the city and strap them things to them and go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just simply, I get all of that. I get all of that. But this time, I mean, listen, there's always been terroristic attacks against the Israelis from the Palestinians over the years. So they got bomb shelters and shit everywhere. They got the Iron Dome. So it's been happening. But this time, Netanyahu took it to a level they have not experienced probably ever. I don't think they want to go to that anytime soon.
Who is they? Who are you
The
speaking
Palestinian people, Hamas, all of Hamas leadership has been decimated. They don't want to go back to that anytime soon.
These are religious zealots. They think that actually dying is a privilege.
They sure.
They become a martyr. They become a martyr when they do that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I mean, when I look at this kid right here, his mom don't look like they feel privileged. They seem like they're happy he came back home alive. I don't think.
No doubt. I'm not questioning the reuniting of families, but I can go back and I can say that maybe the mustache man did a couple of good things when he was in office. So should I be like, yeah, he helped invent Volkswagen? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but I mean,
outweigh. You talk about 20 families. Well, think about the tens of thousands of people who are innocent, who just got slaughtered because what President Trump said finished and supplied all of the weaponry to do it.
I will say this, and I agree with that, but I will say this. Without President Trump bringing us to a ceasefire, Israel would have killed more people today. They were doing it every single day. So every day
they're going to continue to do it. How you think they're going to move 2 million people out of that country?
So what do you say? What do you mean out of the country?
They don't want them people to return to Gaza in their homes. They want to bulldoze it all and build over it. The French Riviera of the Middle East.
According to Trump, that's not going to happen.
I can't tell what he said, what Jim said it. I don't think them people want to come back. I don't think they want to come back. It's destroyed. They are making it so they can take all of that shit themselves. And there is no room. They've already talked about other Muslim countries taking it. Maybe in Egypt or maybe Jordan can take them.
I heard Trump saying that Riviera, the Middle East thing a few months ago, but it sounds like he backtracked on it. Real quick in the comments, though, LJ says Biden got 70 Americans released last year from overseas and 26 Israeli hostages were released from Hamas in January 2025, no credit was given to Biden. Why do you think that is? Because Biden did get some people free. Why do you think Biden received no credit?
Because of propaganda. And I look, you know, I love you to death, man, but you doing the same thing. You coming over here trying to say he got 20 people or 40 people or whatever. So now we should have a fucking parade for him.
No, I'm not saying a parade, but I'm saying get him. I'm not saying a parade. I'm saying get a man credit. When Biden was doing things perceived as good, my audience is tearing me apart on both sides. When I get, I was a libtard. I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. When I get Trump credit, now all of a sudden I'm some MAGA raccoon or what does Gator Grandma call me? A sellout? I'm a Sambo. I mean, you can't give these people credit without the other side hating you.
If a person does 50 evil things, I'm not going to be celebrating when he does one good thing. And to know that what he's doing is not genuine because he cares about them hostages. He cares about getting credit and he cares about taking that fucking land.
I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Gates and Grandma. Until that happens, you got to give a man credit for the good that is taking place. If he does that in the future, well, let me tell you, that's what's going to happen here. You're talking about me, not giving Biden credit. The minute he does some shit like that, you'll certainly see me on here criticizing him because when he said the Riviera of the Middle East, we had a few shows on that criticizing him for saying it.
Okay, I mean, with last week, when he went out and said, look, unless the Democrats do exactly what the fuck I say,
he talked about it.
Start firing all of my motherfucking government employees that work for me. I'm going to use human lives as leverage. Yeah. I'm going to put people out in the fucking streets who can barely pay their fucking rent because the Democrats won't do what the fuck I say. All I'm saying is it's got to be even. Like you coming on here saying, yeah, Trump, give him credit. Because that's what MAGA wants to say.
No, because
we're not gonna have the same parade when he's doing shit, when he's motherfucking bombing countries overseas, just killing motherfuckers and goddamn drug traffickers. Even though these motherfuckers was Colombian, they wasn't even fucking Venezuelan and shit. He's murdering motherfuckers in the goddamn international waters. And you talking about, we got to give him credit for this. No, we're not. He's a fucking murderer.
Well, listen, we judge the guy on a day-by-day basis. When he did exactly what you're talking about.
Today is a feel-good day.
Well,
today is a feel-good day.
Listen, if you're one of those 20 hostages or their family, you feel good today.
I got it. I got it. But if you was one of them 20 people in their homes in Chicago with motherfucking rappelling out of helicopters and being pulled out of their houses and put in fucking in motherfucking straps and shit. Yeah, that's just him trying to get rid of illegals. It's okay. Like it's just a couple people.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you make a good point, but as I stated, we generally address what's going on at the time because we absolutely criticize the hell out of them for that.
I know it's your show, it's free, both sides and everything, but I'm just trying to keep it equal when we say, all things when the motherfucker's doing evil shit.
It ain't all going right, then, Kyle. I'm not going to disagree with you. It's not all going right. But let me just say this in regards to what you're talking about, the stuff you're referring to that you perceive as evil shit. He kind of ran on that, did he not? People knew what he was talking about doing, and they voted for him. When you see those folks getting dragged out of that apartment complex in Chicago that you're talking about, look in the comment section of the videos. Everybody, I voted for this. This is what I voted. A lot of people wanted him to do that.
Exactly. But then they the same people that talking about they got black fatigue and they tired of people calling them racist.
There is plenty of that too.
What sense do that make? They say on one hand they don't give a shit, or they just are blind to everything that's happening around them. No, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Then when you show them to their face, then they say they voted for it. Which one is it?
Well,
He
Saucy,
says a lot of stuff. He's not going to do that stuff. He's not going to do that. He's just talking. You know, he talks just like your last guest on there talking about he heard somebody say something about transgender. Oh, well, if anybody who pays attention to the news, you could have seen it when Charlie Kirk was having a conversation with Bill Maher. And that same exact bullshit came across, and Charlie Kirk told Bill Maher that shit, and he said, that's where you wrong.
yeah,
He said it was transgenic. It had nothing to do
yeah.
with transgender, but they took that because they misread the word, and now it's all over MAGA land that we're paying billions of dollars for some transgender research, and it's all a fucking lie.
Yeah, that was a transgenic mice. I remember that. And listen, and you heard me tell the last caller, transgender is a trigger word for MAGA. I mean, you can get a lot done if you tell MAGA transgender people are getting money or something's happening to favor transgender. That's what, if you want to get MAGA to go against something, just tell them it favors transgender people. And that's a good trigger word.
But my point is, when somebody say that shit to you, you should be able to say, that's not true, instead of just kind of going, well, yeah.
Did you not hear me say exactly that? I told him to fact check it.
Now you said it now, but you
did tell him. I told him to use his search. I told him that's not true. I told him use your search engine of choice. I even told him transgender is a. Yeah, I made it clear to him that is unlikely. I'd have to play it for you, but I'm 100% certain I let him know that is not likely to be true.
Yeah, I don't want to spend all my time talking about him, but I'm saying the conversation you had with him, it even ended with him saying, people be telling me, and I just know I heard it, and I heard. Stop motherfucking going along with that shit. Like, dude, if somebody tell you some shit you know it's not true, you can't just massage them and be like, yeah, man, maybe you need to go search. That's a fucking lie, dude.
Okay. Listen, I'm not Jesus. I can't save everybody. I mean, I made it clear. I told him fact check it. I told him it's a trigger word. I mean, like, damn, how many other ways can I tell him, dude? This ain't. I could have said it's a fucking lie. If I wanted to just be bold and just say, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
It's
that's what you're telling me.
It's free speech.
Yeah, it is.
Another thing I don't like is when these people come up here using Christianity as a shield to just treat everybody like shit. All these people talking, he don't know what the fuck he talking about or nothing, but he get on here. But, I'm a Christian, so, everything. You ask him, is there anything he's done? Now, I can name you 50 things that he's done that people should be upset about it. And he's like, I can't think of not one
That
thing.
was interesting. That was, but listen, a lot of the shit that you're upset that Trump has done, they wanted him to do that. That's good shit to them.
If you would have asked them before, what do you think? Do you think Trump will go in there and that he think dope is on? What do you think they would have said?
Listen, if it's got drugs on it, it's gonna kill Americans. Maybe he needs to do it. I'm just telling you. I don't think that MAGA would have favored him sending in troops into U.S. cities. I don't think if you'd have told him ahead of time, I don't think they would have favored him doing what he's doing on the Epstein file. So there is a few things there. But I do got to move it on. You didn't take it easy on me today at all, did you?
No. Look, one last thing I want to
say. Go ahead.
These people, look, they're talking about MAGA reacts and saying, I'm using Christianity as a political weapon. I'm not. I'm just calling out the hypocrisy of people who say they're Christian but are cool with people breaking commandments. Like, I don't even understand how they could say that. More than half of them don't ever fucking go to church, but they get to come on these platforms and they get to say, well, yeah, I'm a Christian, so everything gets smoothed over, when the Bible says treat immigrants as your own. That's what the Bible say.
Well, I would just tell you, claiming to be Christian while sinning every day and doing everything against the 10 Commandments is as old as American apple pie. I mean, don't matter what era you go back to, people were shit to people. Didn't count, which is one reason why I often say I'm no longer affiliated because of that. But I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right, take it easy.
Anytime. Didn't count coming out hard today. Shout out to you, Dick Cal. Thanks for that conversation. Salty Colonel says leftists hate Trump more than they love anything. You know, I hear some folks who always say that, you know, the left hates Trump more than they love America and things like that, which is kind of why I asked my caller before last, why do so many people hate Trump? What is he doing? I think he skipped church during that talk, says Big Boss. Let me continue on. Tap the screen. I appreciate some of you folks are showing the program some love today. Give me up to 50,000. Help your boy out on the hat and mustache goal. This is Uncensored Dialogue. You guys know how the program is ran. We are MAGA friendly. Always have been, always will be. We don't block, ban, or censor anyone. You can be critical of anybody on this program, up to and including yours truly. We go left of Bernie Sanders to I'm having dinner with Q. This is Uncensored Dialogue. Everybody gets to speak. Looking in the comments, I've been a Christian for 7 years. No, you're not. Your Bible's crisp. I don't get what you're saying toward the end of that. MAGA's back in business, says Paul. So when was it out of business? Make a list of good and bad and don't be honest, and you'll see what everybody's talking about. Make a list of the good and the bad and don't be honest. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. When a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt. I have heard that before. I believe that's straight out the Bible, and that is a reference to how we are treating our immigrants, which is the exact literally the exact opposite of that. The comment again by Lori says, when a foreigner resides among you in your land, do not mistreat them. We send them motherfuckers to Africa. By the way, have you not heard about, I'll go back to the box after this, but, and thank you, Lewis, tap the screen. Yes, get those likes on up to about the next caller at 50. We can certainly make that happen if you let your thumbs not be lazy. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Everybody's heard about this guy. The guy who allegedly was dumb enough to tattoo MS-13 across his knuckles. 3 countries. I wish I had it before me, but I wasn't going to discuss this today. But since his comment came in, you know, we all know they deported him to El Salvador. The courts forced them to bring him back. Appreciate that TikTok cap, handsome conservative. Thank you. They brought him back. They wanted to deport him to Africa. You heard that being discussed, that, you know, they're going to start deporting people to Africa. It hasn't made a lot of news, but the Trump administration actually tried to do that thrice, not once, not twice, thrice. Apparently, from what my studies of my reading has told me, 3 countries, 3 refused to accept Kilmar Abrego Garcia, ending with Ghana. Now, they probably know this dude is a lightning rod, and they may even know, if you follow U.S. media, why they're sending them there. And there's probably a whole bunch of people in Africa that don't believe this guy should be getting how the U.S. is treating him, which is what Lori's comment says, treat the foreigners as you would treat. But anyway, 3 countries in Africa have rejected Kilmar Abrego Garcia being deported there. And it looks like a judge is on the cusp of telling them they got to let this guy go free. So it looks like Kilmar Abrego Garcia may be going free soon, because the lawyers for the government that want to deport this guy had to admit, we can't find nobody that's going to take him. People around the world know how this guy's getting treated. They kind of know what America's doing to this guy's fucking this guy over. This guy's not some hardcore axe murderer or some shit like that. And they're doing this guy, whatever he's done, he's already paid a significant price. I mean, he spent some time in El Salvador, so he's already been incarcerated some time. The last year or so, his whole life has been uncertain. I mean, he's been incarcerated most of that time. Various different departments for, ICE, they've been shipping them all around. So they don't want to take him. So 3 countries in Africa have already rejected receiving Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Anyway, going back to the box, are we at 50,000? Tap the screen. Show your boy some love. Try to wiggle out of that one. I know what you said. Be on the right side of history. Vote red. Love your country. Follow the Lord. I don't know if I feel confident that if you vote red, you're going to be on the right side of history. Cuz Del Nova, I don't know if I feel confident. They're scared of MAGA. Trump, he's an alpha white man. It's the females, Latino, black, and white males love him. Female feminists, homosexuality, and trans support him. Huh? T2, you want to reword that? And I appreciate the support. Let me read your comment again because that doesn't sound right. You're saying that or someone, they're scared of MAGA. He says Trump, he is an alpha white man. Okay, I can give you that. But then you say it's the females, Latino, black, and white males love him. I don't agree with that. I know he did better with men, period, compared to under Kamala Harris, Trump support for men, even in the minority categories you're pointing moved over Biden. So Trump actually gained male voters even in minority categories over Kamala Harris versus Biden. That part I agree, but I don't know if I would say it to the point where they love him. He didn't come close to getting 50% of the male Latinos, the male blacks. Now, he did very well with white males, but yeah, black and Latino males still voted more for Kamala Harris. It's just less of them than they did for Biden. And you say female feminists, homosexuality, and trans support him. I don't know if you're telling me that you believe female feminists, and I guess that's the only type of feminist. There's no male feminists, but you're saying female feminists, homosexuals, and transgender support Trump? Nah, that's hard to believe. That's not to any significant numbers. There were pictures of Trump holding an LGBTQ flag. There are some folks. Caitlyn Jenner voted for Trump, for instance, but the numbers have got to be minuscule. And I'm assuming since Trump has taken office, that support has eroded even less. Straight or gay, don't let nobody clap your cheeks. Don't degrade yourself. Love yourself. You're crazier. All right, let me go back to the box. Are we at 50,000? Tap the screen, get the likes up to 50,000. We'll go over to Facebook. I think we have a follower there, a viewer that wants to come up. Let's see if we can make it happen. We haven't taken a viewer on Facebook. Maybe that person is not there anymore. Okay. All right, we'll move it on then. I thought somebody was in Price is acting up. Okay, we'll cancel that. All right, anyway, do what's the left's platform. Wait a minute. Do what's the left's platform besides I hate Trump? You don't know what the left's platform, all of the shit you complain about. Whatever you call woke, you don't like BLM, you don't like student loan tuition forgiveness, universal health care, minimum wage increase. All of that's the left's platform. Feminists, you saw somebody talking about feminists and women's rights. Oh, there's a whole bunch of, what do you mean you don't know what is the left's platform other than hate Trump? All of the shit you're complaining about. You know, all of the social programs that you dislike. All of that stuff is the left's platform. They have a ton of stuff that they favor. But if you follow the corrupt law of Satan, I got a lot of religion in here. Ignatius Jaro says, but if you follow the corrupt law of Satan on earth, you shall not be able to inherit after you die in the kingdom of heaven. You have a choice. You either obey God's law or you obey earthly law. I don't think anybody in this administration is doing what you're talking about. My opinion, I don't think anybody's doing that shit. I mean, no, I don't believe that. Let me go back to the box. I could go into detail on it, but I'll leave it at that. Continuing on, one of my subscribers there, Jeremy, good evening. Welcome to the program. He needs to sue Trump. He needs to sue the Trump administration. Who needs to sue the Trump administration, MacArthur? Jeremy, good evening.
Hello, Tim. How have you been?
I'm hanging around, man. Good evening. Now we're talking about President Trump. 20 hostages being brought home. Is that not a good thing?
Good job. And you know what? And I love that people like Gangster Grandma constantly say things like, oh, he's not responsible. It was Biden. And she couldn't name one specific part of Biden's plan that actually got them out. I'll give Biden credit. I was not aware that he got like a whole bunch of other hostages out during his term, or got a bunch of other people off. So
I'll tell you, there's two reasons. There's probably two reasons Trump do not know that Biden was responsible for bringing hostages home. One, and I don't know, I'm not talking about you specifically, but I'll say one is a lot of folks who support Trump do not watch left-wing media, and Fox News is not going to give Biden any credit for doing something like that. So that's number one. Number two is Biden is not as braggadocious as President Trump. He would just be responsible for it happening. You might hear him say it once or something like that, and that would be it. Trump went to Israel to be there. I mean, a lot of this stuff was probably kind of orchestrated by Netanyahu at the behest of President Trump. So Trump throws a big party and makes sure you know everything he accomplishes, even if he didn't even accomplish it. So he does a lot more to get his name out, because Biden actually brought home far more hostages, and little to no credit. I mean, he's just doing the job and not really receiving any credit and not really asking for any.
That's fine. That's fine. And here's the thing. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, as long as you got them out, that's what matters. You know what I mean?
Well, if I disagree.
Now,
I disagree.
Get credit.
I got to disagree.
Biden should get credit for what he did. He should absolutely get credit for what he did. But again, what I care about is, are they out? Are they so I'm safe? Yeah. Okay.
I gotta disagree with you. Politician, and you want to get reelected, you want a good legacy, you don't just want to do stuff, you want to get credit for it. Because if you don't get credit for it, you're going to have an adversary like Trump that is constantly bad-mouthing you, and because you're not getting credit for any of the good, and he's doing absolutely everything he can to make sure your whole legacy is going to be fucked up. Because that's going to be his legacy, is most of the Trump insults, and stuff like this ain't going to be part of it.
Well, I don't know why he didn't brag more, but again, he deserves the credit that he got. It's okay. I'm more than willing to give him the credit that he deserves. Just like how Obama was the reason why we got rid of.
Yeah. And of course, just like in that case, I mean, fortunately for Obama, he went on television with the red carpet and said, "On my orders," because they didn't give. I mean, I watched a lot of Fox during that era, and they were saying SEAL Team 6 deserved the credit. Obama, because he wasn't part of the mission.
I don't know why they can't do both. Why not both? Right? That's a little ridiculous. SEAL Team 6 and Obama.
Well, all I know is when President Trump got on TV and said he obliterated Iran's nuclear ambition, nobody on the right said he couldn't take credit because he wasn't part of the damn military mission over there. But they said that on Obama. Well, SEAL Team 6 did it. You didn't do it. Okay, well, you think Trump was on one of the B-2s? Dropping bombs in the. I mean, it's hypocrisy, man. It's hypocrisy. Yeah.
Was there something like that? Being like, listen, guys, we gotta make sure to move, shoot, or communicate. I'm telling you, I know this stuff the best. I've done this a million times before.
Well, if Trump was on one of those bombers and he was dropping the bombs, I mean, they would be filmed. You would see him on the pit. You would see his spotted up hand reach up to the lever. Huh?
He'd be live streaming it.
Yeah. Right when it's time to drop the bombs, you would see his spotted up hand push the button, like, yeah, no denying that's Trump's hand. Look at the colors on it. So I mean, he would make sure you knew.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, like, I give credit to who did it and who was responsible, okay? Now, again, and I would like just one person, okay? And I know Gangster Grandma isn't capable of doing that. She just wants to yell. I just want someone on the left who thinks that Biden is the one who should actually be given credit to please just give me specifics.
Wait, you got a call? We'll give him a second. I think he got a call. I was a caller waiting, not sure why the request was dropped. Michael, I'll try you in a little while. Gillerin. Jeremy, apparently he got a call, so we'll move it on. How many people does Israel still have? Israel released a lot of people, if I'm correct. They were holding people that had not even been charged with a crime. They released a lot of people. From what I hear, they released them too. So Israel did release people. I mean, listen, I think most of us already kind of feel like, despite what happened today, there's going to be skirmishes in the future. But you're going to increase the likelihood of it if the Israelis get all their people back, dead or alive, and while simultaneously holding Palestinians. Now, they released them. They got to release them too. We can't give you your people back and you keep ours. That ain't going to work like that. But looking in the comments, we needed our reparations, says Lord Freeze. Good luck on that. T2 says, you cool as a rich conservative Republican white man. I don't agree with 50% of your views. Now let us work on that Netflix documentary, Me Dating Gangster Grandma. 9 episodes in Netflix. What is that, your own version of Bridgerton? Gangster Grandma really draws attention. Now, T2 is MAGA. He says, and by the way, Gangster Grandma, if you're listening, rich, conservative, Republican white man. There you go. He says, I don't agree with 50% of your views. Work on that Netflix documentary, Me Dating Gangster Grandma. 9 episodes. That's a lot. 9 episodes, huh? Goodness, you're talking about breaking it off, ain't you? Anyway, let me go back to the box. Tap the screen. Are we at the 50? Yeah, we'll go back to the box. Nikki No Show. Good evening. Welcome to the program. She's sticking pins in you now. Why I gotta get the pins, Brian? This is all about free speech. I'm just relaying the message. Nikki No Show. Good evening.
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm been good. Good to have you back on. 20 lives saved today. What say you?
Well, it could have been more, but you know, we've already talked before. I am liberal, but at the same time, like before me said, you got to give credit where credit's due. I'm not saying that he had everything to do with it. Who knows? It might just be a publicity stunt.
Well, Netanyahu gave him credit.
Well, I mean, Netanyahu also blew up an entire neighborhood just for one man, so I'm not really giving a shit about that guy.
I can't argue.
And this is coming from an Ashkenazi Jew that I am. So, you know, I find a very big difference between Zionism and Judaism. Sorry.
What is the difference? Give me a quick summary. What is the difference?
Well, one's all about pushing their political ideology and infusing the religion with the state. I don't get down with that. I mean, it's very much when the temple fell, the people that took over were the natives, you know, and there were a lot of different religions. Of course, there were Christians, and then after Muhammad came, you know, you had the Palestinian, or not the Palestinians, excuse me, but you had the Islamic people come, and it was because of the Islamic people that the temple actually got cleaned up. If you don't know that story, you should look that up. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know it. You know, I think we have the same thing in the Christian religion. You said people who use a religion to push their ideology. We just don't have a separate name for them like that.
Well,
yeah, but
I just call it zealotism, being zealots.
Yeah, I mean, somebody
zeal. I'm okay with everybody being zealous for something, but you know, don't force your bullshit onto me. I don't want to hear it.
Shit, isn't that how most religions are founded? I mean, most religions, that's what they do. They have a history of forcing people to adhere to their judgment, and they force their religion on people.
I like cake or death. If you don't choose tea or cake, you die. I'm sorry, that's a reference to a guy, Eddie Izzard. He was a comedian that made fun of religions. He's like,
is that George Carlin? George Carlin?
No, it's Eddie Izzard. Eddie Izzard. I think you'd enjoy him. He's very comical.
Yeah, that does.
Anyways, getting back to the story, Donald Trump. You know, yes, I think he has been pushing for this peace in the Middle East. I don't necessarily the things that he does. There's a few things that he has done and put his pen to paper that I actually agree on. One of them being that he made it possible for the veterans to go to their rural hospitals versus having him for that.
Okay.
But her name Lori about the treating the foreigner, you know, that's just another thing. You know, if you're going to call yourself a pro-Christian person, then you need to live by the words, not cherry pick whichever parts of the Bible you want. Because if we want to cherry pick, then I'll go and, you know, stone the person's wearing polyester, because you're not supposed to wear a garment with 2 different clothing.
Damn.
That's another.
Well, I will. Yeah, I mean, listen. My analysis is the Christian religion is loaded because MAGA is not very friendly to immigrants. I mean, I've had a million conversations. MAGA is not friendly to immigrants, and I'm talking even legal immigrants. They don't look the country.
I mean, but you got to remember, these are the same Christians that are going to be the ones that go up to Jesus in the second coming. Lord, have we not done these things in your name? And he says, depart from me, I never knew you.
Well, like I said, Christianity is filled with people that actually say they're Christian but do not follow the teachings. And we're currently, certainly under Trump, we're not a pro-Christian, a pro-immigrant country. Even legal immigration, we're not very favorable to immigrants, period.
Yeah, immigration is important. If it wasn't for immigration, the United States would not be what it is today.
Yeah.
Most of these people that built this country are mainly brown people. I made it in a video. We had ICE agents show up to my job site here in Texas, in Austin, and they didn't come to our job site. They came to the Samsung building. We're building a giant area, and news got out that ICE agents were at the building next door. And brother, let me tell you something. If you ever seen 500 Hispanic people running off the job site because they get wind of this, not that they're illegally here, it's the fact that ICE is not giving a damn for due process in the Fourth Amendment. So they're actually running because they're afraid that ICE is just going to detain them because A, they speak Spanish, and B, they're brown.
Yeah. And with the Supreme Court ruling that ICE has the right to stop you if you're brown.
Doing away with the 14th Amendment, and that's appalling.
I wouldn't want shit to do with ICE myself. I would not. I mean, right now, ICE pretty much damn near has the power to make you disappear. So any minority,
that's a slippery slope precedent. And you being a brown male should understand them.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say.
Setting there.
That's what I was going to say. Any person of color should avoid ICE at all costs. I don't care if you're born and raised here. I don't care if you're 10th generation. Any person of color should avoid any ICE gathering, ICE officer. Some of them folks probably have no damn business whatsoever being in law enforcement. They probably don't have a background. Some of them might even have criminal records and all kinds of stuff. Avoid them at all costs. Not only do they not have the ability to do the job, they also have almost damn near carte blanche immunity when you look at Holman and Trump. So you should avoid them.
I will stop you. I will stop you on that. They will not have immunity. Maybe under this administration they have immunity, but they are not going to have immunity because they are violating the Fourth Amendment rights. And when you violate the Constitution of the United States, qualified immunity does not apply to you. Therefore, all of your possessions, you can be sued for them, 401ks, your house, your car, and everything that you own can be.
I hear you, but shit, Trump got 3 more years. Even if they do get held accountable, that might be 3 years in the future.
Well, just 3 years in the future. But, remember the Nuremberg trials and what happened to the Nazis after the World War II when they were saying, oh, we were just following orders. That didn't apply.
I hear all that, Nikki, but I don't want to sit in some jail for 3 years until that happens.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't want to wait till that happens. Like I said, just avoid them at all costs. If they're performing raids and shit like that, get out of that area. I mean, those people should be viewed as an adversary until further notice. Some folks favor what they're doing for the country, but them are the type of folks that probably are not at risk of being grabbed up by them. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that group. I don't want any. I mean, I see how much.
But you got to listen. You got to listen to some of the followers you got on here. I heard that guy earlier who said he was from Tennessee saying he's loving the things that he's done, but I could tell by his accent and where he's from. Of course, he's not under threat of arrest because he's in a very red state, and he's probably surrounded by tons of people that look like him and think like him, and it becomes an echo chamber. If this guy actually took a drive, go a little bit east and drive a little northeast and go up to New York and see the melting pot that they have and see the ICE agents that are just, kicking in doors and stuff. It's awful. I got a brother-in-law. He's not my brother. He married my sister. He was part of the DACA.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Anyways, he's a part of DACA, right? And he came here when he was 6 months old because his mother took him across the border. And under the Dreamers Act, right?
Okay.
Well, now he's terrified. He's terrified because he's got 4 daughters here, my sister, and they're talking about trying to deport him. I mean,
we talked about that on the show, and I said that right before. If you do not have citizenship, full citizenship under Trump, you are not safe. I wouldn't even advise folks that have a green card or they're going through the procedure to stay here. I wouldn't even advise you to that shit is a trap. If you don't have citizenship, you just ain't safe. I mean, at the snap of a finger, they could just simply say, yeah, you've put in all the work to stay here legally. We decided to change our mind. You got to go. If you don't have citizenship, don't trust it.
what are they going to do? Deport me to Africa?
It could be. That actually is not a joke. Could be, yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not funny, and it's the amount of reaching that these people are going for. They're reaching any way they can go, and I can understand why most of the leftists are saying this is a fascist government, because in fascism, what's their go-to in the playbook? Shock and awe.
Yeah.
Shock. Going to for the past 9 months. That's it. Only 9 months. So Jesus Christ.
It's been a real busy 9 months. I think Steve Bannon said something to the effect of flood the zone. So do you believe that Project 2025 is a real playbook for the Trump administration?
Well, maybe for the Heritage Foundation, but you look at some of the things that have done and read Project 2025.
Yeah, Nikki, your signal's breaking up.
And you'll see that some of these things are actually in play at the moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to move it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move it on from your signal. Your signal's gotten really bad. Always welcome back. I appreciate you coming in. I gotta drop you. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Nikki, appreciate it. Thank you for the call. Obama phone, give it out, says. Oh, Jesus. Anybody can have a bad signal. Come on now. Be nice. Be kind to the guests. Well, you just screwed up when you said you understand the leftists. You just gave yourself away. You little hamster. Has mommy made this? These guys are arguing among each other. Has mommy made juice box and turned on your Game Boy for you? The Game Boy. Wow. You're going back a little bit. I used to love the Game Boy. I never had Game Boy Color, but I had the first. Anyway, going back to the box. Robert Kennedy says another brainwashed caller. Tap the screen. I'm going to ask you folks to do that. Get us on up into the 70s. We can certainly make that happen. Some of you folks that are showing the program some love, help your boy out with the hat and mustache goal. We're about half the way through. A lot of you folks, it's not easy, but thanks some of you folks that have been showing the program some love. Help us out with the hat and mustache goal. Helps out the program. Keeps all of this stuff. We're on 5 different platforms right now currently. So if you want to be a caller, call us in. We're in on Tim Liberals on Facebook, Instagram, currently on YouTube, and of course, TikTok. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ain't my problem. Something I've said plenty of times in my past. Let me go back to the box. I'll see if I can make this happen. But we're going to try a Facebook caller before we go back over to our TikTok screen. We'll see what happens here. Veterans Hospital Services, VA Hospital Services to the community was under President Obama. Ask me how I know as a veteran. Cliff, appreciate the input. Cliff Rodriguez. Apparently the call I was trying to bring up is not going to come up. Maybe because we aren't fucking children. Truth. Tap the screen. Get us on up to 75. Foul. Flame Train. Appreciate the roses. Let me go back to the box. I tried to bring up one of my guests from Facebook. Facebook is giving me some problems here. Nevertheless, we'll go ahead and continue on with Takesha Bowie. I think was in there. I don't know. Well, maybe she's not in there. We'll go to Love to Cruise, one of my subscribers there. Good evening, Love to Cruise. Love to Cruise, are you talking about like Carnival in Royal Caribbean?
What's that?
Love to Cruise, your name. Are you talking about like cruise ships?
Yes.
Yeah, I just played the cruise the other day. I really like taking cruises too. So I just happened to think about that when you said that, because I first was thinking maybe you're on a highway driving a truck or something like that. But I'm like, I'm going on a cruise soon. Maybe that's what he's talking about. All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Who you taking? Who you going with?
Going with Royal Caribbean.
Okay, which ship?
I think it's Freedom of the Seas or something like that. It's some months in the future. It's going to be early next year, so it's not going to be overnight. I mean, it's a few months in the future.
Hey, if you do get a chance next time, go
Virgin Voyage. What am I gaining?
No kids, adults only.
That's a big game.
Excellent entertainment. They don't even have a buffet. They have all specialty restaurants, which you're included with.
Wow.
They do adult entertaining and adult things on there. So it's excellent cruise for no kids too. That's the main thing for adults only.
Virgin Voyage. All right. Guys, Carnival Cruise Line is starting to get black fatigue. Anyway, we'll get onto the show. So President Trump brings. Are we giving him credit?
Yes and no.
Why no?
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when did they make this announcement? Tuesday?
We started doing shows on it. I know I'd have to check back because we started doing shows on it the minute we did one a couple of days ago. We called it President Trump the Good Stuff, and people just ate me alive for giving him credit, but he had already announced it before then. It was last week sometime.
I'm saying I think he was positioning himself to go for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Absolutely, he was trying to get the prize. Absolutely. Now, but you saying the same thing Gangsta Grandma said earlier. He's only doing it because he wants something in it for him. I don't disagree with that, but at the same time, if you save a life, you save a life.
Oh yeah, well, kudos to the families. You know, if you have a family member missing for 2 years, yes, but they'll be at war before the month's out.
You really think that quickly, huh?
Absolutely. It was just something to get try to get him the Nobel Peace Prize, and now that it doesn't work, they'll be back at war.
Well, I'm under the impression that some of those Middle Eastern countries are going to leave a force in place in Gaza for a short period of time. So I can't imagine. I mean, after seeing what they went through for 2 years and seeing the might and resolve of Israel, and Netanyahu is still in power, why would you want to go back to that? I mean, he's just going to keep killing you. Why would you want to go back to that?
I'm not going to get on you, Tim. You've been having a rough day today, so I'm going to skip that.
No, give me what you got. It's free speech. You can criticize. What am I getting wrong?
Hey, Middle East people think different. It isn't about the might. It's about the will. And when they go jihad, it's a totally different atmosphere. So yeah, Israel may have, the might and the equipment, but in their eyes, if we can just hit to a small victories, then we're doing it all. We're doing all right. And they're going, like I said, they're going to strap up and pew pew and bomb and this and that. So yeah, they're just going to go that way.
That's so just basically a suicide mission.
Yeah, same way the Japanese did. Just ramming a plane into the destroyers. Same thing they're going to do.
I don't know, because I'll tell you this. If the folks in Gaza were that much in terms of jihad or suicidal, they could have done, if they just all had ran across on October 7th, they could have tallied up some serious numbers. Only like 1,000 of them or so came over. If they really wanted to do some serious damage, why didn't they just come over then?
Well, like I think that was Dinkel that said, when you're outnumbered and outpowered, you got to go guerrilla on them. And that's what they're going to do.
And just
this ain't over.
Get all your people killed. Because if they do it again, even the liberals ain't going to have any type of sympathy for Hamas if they do something again like that. I mean, at this point.
It's not necessarily Hamas that's going to lead the way. It might be Israel.
So you think that Israel may start some shit with the Palestinians?
Might strike first. That's right. They might be the ones that strike first. They might just say, they were just going for the. We really didn't agree with this Trump, but we're trying to help you out. Now that didn't work, things are going back to them. We're not done with them. And they'll strike.
What else other than at this point, there is no viable structure of any significance left in Gaza. The only reason you would go back at this point is just to wipe them off the face of the earth. I mean, there's nothing left but soft targets.
That's what we have to do. If I'm Israel, and do whatever they got to do, then why mess around with it? You take the enemy out, all the way out, if you get a chance to.
But even if you take out everybody in Gaza, all you do is spread the movement to Iran, to Syria, to Yemen. I mean, you just create. I mean, what are you going to do? Take all those countries out? When you because you see what happened the minute they started wiping out the people in Gaza. Hezbollah and Yemen got involved. Then you had the Houthis in Syria get involved. Then you had the Iranian. I mean, like, we gonna wipe all those countries out?
Have they got involved yet?
No, because right now it's at peace. But what you're talking about, they probably would get back in it.
Then they just got at peace during the war. Who got involved? Iran, and then what we do to them?
Iran got involved. The Houthis in Syria got involved. Yemen got involved. I mean, they all over the place. I think Hezbollah is in Syria. The Houthis is in Yemen. I mean, there's so many of them. Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah. I mean, there's a bunch of them, but they all got involved.
And they also know that him and Trump are pretty close. So Trump gonna back him whatever he does. Even what's his name, Ted Cruz. We're supposed to follow Israel. They're the chosen one.
Yeah, I really hate that. Yeah, I've played that on the program. I really hate that he says that. I don't like to have. Yeah, I don't like having a sitting senator indicating that the Bible is telling us to defend Israel. If you want to say that as a citizen or a churchgoer, that's one thing. But a senator basically is making it clear you're confusing church and state when you're talking like that.
Yeah, and which he probably is. But I'm just saying, Israel know they have the backing of the United States. And so does everybody else in the Middle East.
But let me ask you this. You say the backing of the United States. President Biden or President Kamala Harris, would the same thing have happened? That's the United States.
No. Well, as far as the hostages being released,
would Kamala Harris had to work with Netanyahu to get the hostages home?
it might have been more difficult because we were more chastising them because they kept on. They were doing overkill on Gaza, and we didn't want that. So it might have happened, but it might have happened a little later.
Yeah, I don't know if Kamala Harris would have had much of a relationship with Israel at all. I mean, because she's going to be.
Yeah, because as a woman, it might have been difficult.
So then, if we wanted to end the Israeli-Palestinian war, and you're admitting it might have been more difficult with a woman by putting President Trump in there, did we not make the right choice?
No, so because that happened doesn't mean that's the right choice. Him and Trump are bed buddies.
Well, but if you want it, let's just take it in regards to just this war. We're not talking about anything else. Just we want to end the Israeli-Palestinian war. If that's your goal to end that war, who's the best choice, Trump or Kamala Harris?
That's a tough one. But yeah, but see, for different reasons. Because if Harris had got in there, that doesn't mean she'd have been the one handling it. The Secretary of State might have been handling, which would have been a man. And it might have been a different outcome.
You sure you don't just want to admit Trump is the better choice in this case?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, because with President Trump, you don't have to worry about going through some kind of ambassador or something. He's going to see what happened. He announced that they were going to bring the hostages home. They're going to end this war. He jumped on the jet, swollen ankles and all. He got over there and he got the job done.
The thing with Trump, not that he's a better candidate for this or whatever, it's his motives behind it that worry me.
Elaborate. What do you think? What do you think? What motive do you think he has for bringing home 20 people?
Well, I think that's just part of the. Like I said, originally it's because of the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah,
I think he's just going for that. Now. Is there a plan B? Probably, absolutely, somewhere. And he'll tell it or it'll come out. But nothing's ever how it seems with him. There's always another remember when he said, I'd be doing the weave Remember when he said that?
I don't
They
know.
think I'm talking about this, I'm going to talk about this, and I'm talking about this, and I go around and talk about this. He called it the weave.
I haven't heard the weave, but I do know when MAGA says he's playing chess and y'all think he's playing checkers, which it sounds like the same
Yeah.
thing. That's
He
kind
ain't
of
playing
similar.
no damn chess. He playing Chinese checkers. He ain't playing no damn chess.
I don't know. He brings home a jet from Qatar, and people believe it was just free and it was a gift. Boom! All of a sudden, Idaho is getting a bunch of black jobs.
Well, at one point, they were getting on him during the campaign because he would talk about one thing, then he would bring up another subject, then he would go to another subject. He was saying it was called the weave. And that's the way he was confusing everybody, but there's always something involved in what he was saying.
But is that not just politics? And by the way, Scooty Scoot, yeah, appreciate the hat mustache, thank you. Isn't that not just politics? Are we criticizing Trump for doing something that most politicians do, which is do something when they know they want something to gain on the back end? I mean, what makes him any different?
No, we're criticizing Trump for his motives and his process. I'm on that with the process. His process of doing anything is so backwards and fucked up. Does he have good ideas? Yeah, possibly. There's been a couple that I liked.
Okay.
But the process of going about it
MGD,
is where he
thank you.
loses.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, he's boisterous, the language he uses, the way he talks to people. He could be doing good, and he's not going to get credit because of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is often insulting and things like that. I mean, like with the government shutdown, for instance, right now, he's making it clear he's targeting Democratic programs. So, I mean, look, there are people that have Trump derangement syndrome, I guess, whatever the hell that is, but he does earn the hate. I mean, he does say a lot of stuff and look, if you're going to troll and brag about getting liberal tears, then you can't complain when they're actually crying and they hate you. That was your goal, right? To make them cry. And they're crying and they hate you now. So I do agree that the nature, it does spark people not to like him. I don't disagree with that.
Well, yeah, well, it's not hard, but you can tell this White House is really getting to him. If you looked at him, he's aging.
Shit, he's almost 80.
Yeah, well, he's aging rapidly.
What do you mean?
Take a good look at him when he came in compared to what he looks like now.
Well, shit, take a good look at Obama. I mean, if the president ages you no matter what age you are.
Obama did 8 straight years. Okay, if nothing else.
Trump did 12. You said Obama did 8 straight years. By the time Trump is done, Trump was straight years. He held rallies and continued campaigning throughout Biden's presidency. He never stopped running for office.
He wasn't making presidential decisions the whole 12 years. There's a difference in just doing a rally and actually being there making presidential decisions.
I don't agree with that. I'll tell you, when they blocked Biden's border bill, who made that decision? We know where that came from. Trump was making decisions against Biden. I mean, he was making decisions for the Democratic Party the whole time Biden was in office. He was still making presidential decisions.
That's true, but he wasn't the president. He's only going against one man. He's not the president making decisions for the United States.
No,
it's different. I can concentrate on you all day.
Yeah, I agree with that. But shit, when he was in the offseason, he was worried about going to prison for the rest of his life. So he was still stressed out.
Come on, he wasn't worried about going to motherfucking prison. Shit. Come on now.
You really think? I thought he was gonna get locked up my damn self. You don't see somebody. You don't see somebody escape. What it started out with 91 federal charges. I think they knocked it down to like 87 or something. You don't normally hear of anybody facing 80-some federal charges and beat them all. That has never happened before. That man was at a good risk of going to prison.
He wasn't at no risk. You really think we were gonna put an ex-president in prison?
That one?
I mean,
that one, yeah. I'll tell you something. Yeah. If President Trump did not win in November, the Jack Smith case would have continued forward, And I don't feel confident saying he would not have done jail. They wanted that guy. They really wanted him.
He would have never went to prison, but they were trying to get the trial to speed up just so they could say don't run again.
Okay. Well, let's go with what you're saying. Even if he didn't go to prison, they would have tried to break him financially. They would have ruined his legacy. They would have shamed his family. I mean, he still had a lot on the line, even without any prison time.
Man, they couldn't break him when they got motherfuckers like you buying hats all the damn day.
The man couldn't pay off. The man claimed he couldn't.
Just buy one, you're gonna buy two. You know, come on, man.
Yeah, I got a few MAGA hats around here. I think I probably got about 4 or 5 of these. I even got a.
Yeah, how the hell they gonna break him?
I haven't been able to use this one in a while. Trump was right about everything. I haven't had to use that one in a while, but I got to move it on, Lewis. It's always a pleasure, man. Good conversation.
Always. Hey, one more thing, man.
Sure, what you got?
You the man. You are a tough man. I got love for you. Den Cal was right, but at least he came about it respectfully.
Thank you.
That damn gangster grandma, man. She go to the same church Mega go to. Same church.
Ooh.
They go to the same damn church.
She gonna come for you. Ooh. Ooh. I'm gonna make sure this is live. I'm gonna clip that and play that back to her. Lewis.
I ain't scared of no damn ghosts.
Oh, you done brought out the Ray Parker Jr. on her, huh? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I gotta go before you hang yourself. I appreciate it. Wow, love the cruise. I ain't scared of Gangsta Grandma. That will come up again in future shows. I'll go ahead and drop the tease right now. Tap the screen, get your boy up. Foul. Thank you, folks that have been. We're pretty close to the TikTok cap goal. Wow. Some of you folks have showed the program some love. Thank you very much. No Lies Detected says alter ego, huh? Wow. You went out to Gangsta Grandma. That is a no-go zone. That almost like Marjorie Taylor Greene going out. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. By the way, I think Marjorie Taylor Greene said something again. Alter ego, shout out to you. Shout out to you. I believe she said something that is in the same category as Jasmine Crockett about the Epstein victims or whatever. Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to keep on, and she's going to become a rhino if she don't shut up. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been going after President Trump. She's going after him because of the big, beautiful bill and the potential that it's going to hurt her constituents' health care. By the way, what she's doing, she's supposed to do. I mean, if her constituents are telling her that his big, beautiful bill is not in their best interest, her job is to do what her show loyalty to the president. You don't fuck over your voters for the president. A lot of them don't realize that, but that's what you're supposed to do. So if she's saying that his big, beautiful bill, and I agree with you, IDD or whatever they say, she voted for it, which, yeah, you voted for it. So, but I mean, yeah, if your constituents are speaking out, then you shouldn't be for it. And apparently she don't like what's going on with the Epstein list either, because Marjorie Taylor Greene actually met with a lot of the victims and they really touched her. They're going to have to get rid of her. MAGA's going to have to get rid of her. She's starting to talk too much. You know, what did the mob boss say? You know, I tell you, this outfit would be doing so much better. MAGA could progress so much better if that Marjorie Taylor Greene woman would just disappear. I tell you, I'm not saying anything should happen to her, but I just think our rallies, I think our progress would be better. Just she would be out of the way, you know. Just telling you, I'm just telling you, that's how it goes. Anyway, looking in the comments, Trump looks better now than before. Robert Kennedy, what are you basing that on? Trump, you said Trump looks better now than before. What is before? A couple hours ago? What are you talking about? Did you watch Virginia governor debate? No, I did not. Virginia has a African-American woman running for governor there. And they're claiming that Trump is not really supporting her. I don't know if that's true or not. Core, yeah, I appreciate the hat and mustache. You guys have showed the program some love today. I like that she's being negative to Trump, says Jake. Yeah, but the problem is she could end up like Liz Cheney, a woman without a party, because okay, you start criticizing Trump. Yeah, the liberals are going to like you, but you voted against the liberals so much and done so much shit that they're only going to like you so much. The liberals are never going to accept Marjorie Taylor Greene into their party. So if she gets kicked out of MAGA, then she's kind of a woman without a party, like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Joe Manchin, Christian Sinema. You know, you piss off your own party. The other side ain't going to accept you. Maybe Tulsi Gabbard is probably one of the exceptions to some degree, but they ain't going to accept you on the other side either. Shit, get your ass out of here. Going back to the box. Takesha Bowie. Good evening. Welcome to the program. Trump looks better now than before. What the hell do you mean by that? Takesha, yeah, flame train.
And she should not care for her party except her, because if the people that vote for her still vote for her, that's all she need to be concerned about.
They not though, Takesha. If Trump starts,
Tim, she didn't get in with Trump's help,
but she would definitely get out.
She
with
didn't
his,
get in.
I hear you.
What pisses me off with y'all? Y'all make this great king that has all this power that ain't nothing negative gonna happen unless he make it happen. And he's such a great man, and everybody should be fearful of him. Lose your seat, and he can do all this great stuff. Trump ain't no more powerful than you.
Did I just become a y'all?
I'm so sick of you. Let me tell you why I'm sick of you.
Y'all, really?
Yeah, y'all.
Oh, come on.
Come with Den Count and Granny.
Oh, no.
Let me say this. Because you always say to me when you don't disagree, you say, let me put some pushback on it. I don't hear you say that to Malcolm.
And don't say that.
No, hold on, Tim.
Oh, come on. I'm a y'all on that. I'm heard.
Hold on, Tim. Every time Donald Trump do something, you dedicate a whole Donald Trump. When Biden got them hostages released, you didn't do no show on Biden doing that.
Well, I do plenty of shows on Biden's accomplishments.
Tim, what you do on Biden be negative as hell.
That is not true.
Tim, when he do something positive, we gotta bring it up. You don't do no show. You never did a show on nothing positive Joe Biden did. If we discuss something positive he did, it's because we brought it up. Every time Donald Trump do something you think he need to get some credit for, here we go with a whole damn show.
I did, and I see in the comments, Alex Strong says give Biden was worthless. In other words, what did Biden do that was good? Is what Alex Strong is saying. In other words, he didn't do nothing good to do it.
He did a whole lot of shit that was good, you idiot. He did a whole lot of stuff. But what Biden is not, and I hate he ain't, he not braggadocious, and he don't need to be lifted up, and he don't need to be rubbed on like Donald Trump to make him feel like a man.
Okay. Well, first of all, the fact that he is not braggadocious and he don't need to be rubbed on, as you say, that's one of the reasons why. Shit. That's one of the reasons why Biden is not getting credit, is because some of the things he did, a lot of people don't know about.
The reason they don't know about it, Tim, like I said, because they don't really, people just not trying to act like they know about politics, and they just look at one side. So if you look at one side, you're not gonna know what he did. Fox News damn sure ain't gonna tell you what he did.
Well,
they too busy simping for Donald Trump.
Well, that's why President Trump was smart enough to hold those rallies. You need to get out there and tell the people.
It wasn't smart. He was being messy and petty. He's not a man. He's not an alpha man. I want y'all to stop saying that, because what alpha man sits up and whines and cries when people say something bad about him, to the fact he got to get him a nickname and he got to make a whole true social post about him.
Well,
what alpha man does that?
I mean, he's a little sensitive every night. You can be.
What alpha man is sensitive? What is an alpha man?
That'd be like the Marlboro Man.
A strong man. Stronger than Newport 100. And if it hurts your feelings and you whine and cry because somebody said something about you don't like, you're not an alpha man.
Well, I mean, listen, I think Trump is fair.
Here you go.
Why?
Come on.
I think Trump is fairly alpha.
Do you?
Yeah.
How?
He speaks his mind. He tells it like it is. He's competitive.
He speaks his mind. He take the crap back. Go ahead.
He's competitive. He's a chick. He's been a chick magnet most of his life.
Tim,
What?
Tim,
What?
let me tell you one thing I've learned.
He's a boss.
When you got to run through women, it's because your penis was trash and you couldn't get a second chance with that same woman. That's why you got to move on to the next. So anyway,
Damn.
let me say this. Where you pissed me off at, Tim.
What did I do?
Why do
Jesus.
y'all keep saying what Kamala Harris wouldn't have done? How do you know?
I think with
She
Kamala
didn't
Harris,
get a chance.
I think she-
How do you know?
I'm going to say the same thing I said to Gangster Grandma. This woman was a bad candidate. I mean,
I'm gonna say, excuse me. How do you know what she never got the chance? How can you say that? That's just like you saying you can't get this woman that's sitting next to you pregnant when you never had a chance to sleep with her.
Well, that's different.
How do you know you can't get her pregnant if you never had a chance to sleep with her?
I don't know, but that sounds sexy as hell. Anyway,
So
hold on.
How would you know what Kamala could have done if she never got the chance to do?
Because the way she answered questions indicated that she wasn't.
Let me explain something to you. You can say anything out your mouth. You ain't got to answer no questions correctly to do the action of what you need to do. You can sit up on the phone with a woman and have trash conversation. Does that mean after that trash conversation?
I think my ex-wife would probably say, yeah, okay, I get it. Okay, I get
Well, I'm
it.
sorry your ex-wife don't want you. You probably was trash in the bed too.
Oh, damn. Come on. God damn.
That's why they
Oh,
want to make
my God.
Because you wasn't doing nothing, Tim.
I'm always doing
No, I'm
something.
just playing. I can't talk out your
I
mouth.
got
I'm
something
just-
tattooed on the headboard. Come on now. Now,
Something ain't right. Listen, check this out, Tim. But seriously though, stop saying what she could have done. You don't know.
I know when the woman was asked, what would you do differently than Joe Biden? And she couldn't even come up with one thing. That shows she's not really
Tim,
good at this.
Tim, go back and look at what she said.
I was watching it on The View when she said it.
And really listen to what she said.
She wasn't a good candidate.
Tim, she wasn't a good candidate to you. But she was a good candidate to the people that voted for her.
I mean, well, I'm one of
Donald
those
Trump,
people.
Hold on. Donald Trump was not a good candidate to me. But he was a good candidate for the people. Okay, let me ask you this question. You think Trump is in physical fit and got all his faculties in line?
That's a great comeback. No, they lying too. I believe
Okay,
that.
so why y'all keep blaming her for the same thing they doing? This man set up in truth that on January the 6th that was put into the crowd. Who was the president on January the 6th?
He was. Trump
So
was.
how was it Biden's FBI?
Look, he makes a few mistakes here and there.
This man said that he said today that he had by 648%. We gonna get our prescriptions 300% off, meaning we go to the pharmacy, say, give me my medicine and my damn money too. Tim, the man speaks. Come on now. Look at his ankles. Look how he slurs when he speaks. Look how tired he is now when he speaks. He falls asleep when he's sitting up in meetings. Tim, they lying too. So y'all can stop blaming Kamala for lying about Biden if y'all ain't gonna bring up the same thing for them lying about Trump.
Well, you need to keep in mind they expect President Trump to be around for the next 7 years. Trump, they expect him in 2028 to run again.
I already told you how that gonna go. You don't see how J.D. Vance been all out in the. At first, we ain't see him nowhere. We didn't even know if he was still vice president. Now, every time you turn around, he giving an interview. You know why? He getting ready.
And how long you think? I mean, are you suggesting that Trump won't finish out his term? Did we talk about this?
I'm gonna tell you again. January 2026 will not see Donald Trump as president.
January 2026. That's
2026.
That's less than 3 months.
January 2026. Pay attention to how much the Maybelline queen now. You know, the man who sleep with a couch. His wife got to try to cover the couches up so he won't get turned on when he walk in the house and see him. Watch it now.
I just want to say
He
this.
all out there. Tim, he everywhere now. At first, we didn't even see JD Vance. Everybody was saying, where's JD Vance? When we saw JD.
But-
Now, every time you turn around, he giving an interview.
I mean, really, that is supposed to be, that's what most VPs do. I mean, Mike Pence and Kamala Harris were not doing.
Tim, he wasn't doing it.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
that's
you.
what I'm saying. He was doing when he wasn't being seen that much. He was doing what most VPs do.
Correct. But now you all out. Every time you turn around, you on some news outlet. Y'all on the podcast for Charlie Kirk's podcast. You doing a lot. You putting yourself out there because you finna be out there.
January 2026.
January 2026.
Would that be a better choice in your eyes? I mean, if Trump steps down.
Absolutely not. I think both of them are full of pure evil. I think both of them need to find God. They need to find out who Jesus really is and get their soul saved. I told my friend the other day, I'm so tired of praying that Donald Trump find the Lord till I'm finna start praying. Because my prayers are being wasted because he got a reprobate mind. He said himself that he ain't going to heaven.
Yeah, that's
all
crazy.
That's all I needed to hear him say, that he already know his fate is already sealed.
That's crazy that he actually said that. For some of my MAGA viewers, I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, he was caught on recording saying that.
They wasn't no caught on. He was sitting there talking to Peter Ducey on the plane, and Peter Ducey asked him, and he said, "Well," he said, "I'm gonna be cute with it, but I don't think I'm getting in."
Did Fox News, because Ducey obviously works for Fox, did Fox News put that on their air? Because that's pretty wild.
I don't watch Fox News, so I wouldn't know if they did or not.
Yeah, that's pretty wild that he came out and said something like that. I mean, if you know you ain't going to heaven, then you can do some pretty awful shit if you don't expect to go.
That's why he don't care. And let me say this for the people that swear they such good Christians. According to the word of God, there will never be peace in the Middle East until the Prince of Peace, which is Jesus, sits on his throne. So the war in the Middle East is definitely not over. It will start back up.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that as well. I don't think it's going to be over indefinitely, but I mean, for now, listen, it's paused. It's a temporary ceasefire, whatever you want to call it. And while that's happening, nobody's being killed. So if it can,
that's a good thing. But let me say this: when Trump got up there and told that president to pardon Benjamin Netanyahu,
okay,
it's all kind of stuff going on behind the scenes. Did you see Trump talking to who was that? It was the president of. They called him on a hot mic, and they was talking about property.
Okay.
Did you see it?
No.
You're
talking about taking over. You're talking about taking over Gaza.
They was talking about another piece of property because the man was saying he can get it for cheaper. I got to remember who the man was.
The crazy thing is with Trump.
Everybody see that. Trump willing and dealing and everything. But let me tell you what pisses me off. Okay, the Lord used him to get this done. But like I said, you remember when me and you had that conversation when Trump first got in, and I said that the reporter asked him the plan did he think he was going to be able to achieve all phases? And he said he couldn't guarantee that.
Right.
That's why I'm telling you that's Biden's plan they're using. But anyway, even though Trump, going through and, doing it, but that was Biden's plan. But my thing is this, Tim. Do stuff for the right motive. If Trump was really for peace, he wouldn't be causing unrest in the country. He is over.
Now, I'm not going to pretend like Trump is for peace. Trump is for trolling.
You can't want peace outside of your country when you causing havoc in the one you over.
Well, in my opinion, Trump takes pleasure in that stuff. I mean, the trolling, the insults. He likes and MAGA loves that. MAGA loves it. So he's not gonna pursue peace.
Tim, I am just like I'm just like Granny. There's something behind it all. Jared Kushner. They gonna take that land. They gonna take it.
You talking about Gaza?
Yeah, they're gonna take it. They're gonna build a resort. People gonna be at the beach over there at Gaza. I'm telling you, they're gonna take.
And where are the people? Where are the Palestinians going to be?
They already told them they gonna find somewhere for them to go.
Then that doesn't happen by way of anything else other than war, because they're going to fight for their homeland.
What part don't you understand? That's why I say it's not over, Tim.
Wow.
It's not over, Tim. Donald Trump is the type of person that does nothing unless he can get something out of it. Just like they said, let me tell you what they said, and then I got to go because I got to start celebrating my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday,
thank
early.
you, sweetie. Thank you. My cash app's in the bio. Listen, they said that when right before Trump made the announcement that he was going to put tariffs on China, that one account in crypto said that the market is going to crash. Right before he made that announcement, he came out and made the announcement. A lot of people lost a lot of money, but one account made $88 million. You know who account they said it was?
His or Elon's or his wife?
Barron Trump. And guess what else? Guess what else Barron finna do? Be on the board of TikTok.
Well, listen, regardless of
that's the DEI right there.
Yeah. I think Jared, Ivanka, there's a whole lot of DEI, but I do believe in regards to what you're saying, history will tell us that President Trump and his family made more money from being in the White House than any other president. Even adjusted for inflation, they made more money than anybody else.
That little Saturday say he ain't taking. That's pennies to what he has collected since he been in office, the 2 times he been in now. He don't need that money because, baby, he making hand over fist.
Can't argue with that. Takesha, I got to move it on. Enjoy your birthday tomorrow if we don't talk. You too.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, baby. All right, moving on with the program. And I do agree with that part at least. The Trump administration, I think it was Ann Coulter. I wish I could bring the clip up. I probably could if I look in here, but I think she was being interviewed by, it might have been Bill Maher. And Ann Coulter said she likes Trump's policies, but she stated that he is the most corrupt president in history. And she said it's because he is enriching himself and his family, every way from sundown. I don't think that's even up for debate at this point. I mean, whether it's insider trading, he's adjusting those tariffs at will. Some of the tariffs he's adjusting just simply because he doesn't like certain countries. It has nothing to do with the trade imbalance. You don't think if he's adjusting tariffs like that, then he has the ability to warn people and let folks know to make investments and things like that. So yeah, he's making a killing. He's making a killing. I'm not even talking about the selling of books and Bibles and sneakers and EFT cards and all that stuff. God knows how much money is being made through the cryptocurrency and things like that. I don't know if there's a way once he leaves. If he offers blanket pardons or whatever, I don't know if there's something our government can do to undo that or whatever, because the money is still there. Even if Trump passes away, he has his estate. His family, all of them after him to get that money. There are ways to get that money back from all of those folks. I don't know if people want to take the government down that path, because it could create, we may get a liberal in there that just simply says, for the sake of keeping the country unified and not turning MAGA into a sea of angry people, we're just going to let bygones be bygones and we just have to deal with it. That may be liberals taking a high road, but there is no denying that the Trump family has made a killing off of his presidency, just an outright killing off of his presidency. I don't think there's any way to deny that. Infinity says one thing about Trump: just don't let him stop. We'll know more than we ever wanted to. He loves to talk. He definitely loves to talk because, that's what he is, a showman. He is a showman, and it's served him very well through life. I can't imagine you would stop doing something that has really been successful for you once you. He's an old dog. Why would he want to learn a new trick when the old trick is working? J.D. Vance is a pushover. He is going to be steamrolled worse than Trump is by foreign leaders. I don't want to call him a weakling, but in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong on this. Some of you folks in the comments can let me know, but JD Vance is no Trump. JD Vance is absolutely no Trump. He's not going to have the mission of MAGA by Atlanta. I just don't see it. And not only that, but unlike President Trump, I think there would be more folks on the right that would be willing to challenge JD Vance. He is not Trump. He is not Trump. The Ron DeSantis and those type of people, I think they would be more willing to point out the flaws of JD Vance because he doesn't have the power to destroy you like Trump does if you criticize Trump. So I don't. JD Vance is not Trump. That's not to say he still might not win something, but he doesn't have the power of President Trump. And I think his wife may also be an issue. If he becomes president, that's the first lady. I don't think MAGA's a big fan of that. I just don't. He's not Trump. He absolutely is not Trump, in my opinion. Vance isn't a pushover. I voted Trump 2 out of 3 times. JD Vance will get my vote anytime he runs. He's better than Trump. I think, Husky, okay, you're saying that you voted for President Trump 2 out of 3 times. My guess is you probably were favorable. Trump had a problem with him. Most MAGA were favorable to Mike Pence. They were favorable to Mad Dog, General Mad Dog, Milley, and all of them folks until Trump told you otherwise. So I don't think JD Vance could change the crowd like that. I don't think of that. So Tim, are you in agreement with bullying? No, Billy Wop. No, I'm not. I don't favor most of the things that come from President Trump's social media accounts because that's mostly what that stuff is. No, I don't favor that. I don't think it's necessary to make America great. Let me go back to the box, tap the screen, get us on up to 110, and we'll go ahead and go right back to the box with MAGA Reacts. Good evening, MAGA Reacts. I voted Trump 3 times, not in the primaries, though. I voted for a sane Republican, says John.
Yo, I don't even know where to start all the bullshit that just came out.
Give me some examples.
Trump could cure cancer, and they'd be like, oh, why didn't he cure all the other fucking diseases? You can't give him credit for cancer because he didn't cure fucking leukemia and some other shit.
Well, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you totally, but I guess I would ask you if Obama or Biden had brought home the 20 hostages, do you think Trump would be giving them credit?
Yeah.
No,
I don't know about Trump, but I would.
I'm asking you about Trump. That's the guy we're saying that if Trump deserves credit, would he give credit to somebody else that deserved it?
I don't know.
That's a problem. If you think it's wrong not to give him credit, but you're admitting you don't even know if he would do the same to somebody else, that's a big problem. That shows you where the issue is.
This is the problem. You care too much about his character. I care about him getting the job done.
I've never seen America have a president in U.S. history where we said we don't care about the character of the man. I've never seen that before.
Well, if that man could end wars, I'd rather have a man that ends war than the one that says the right thing.
Well,
you know, isn't that why we voted for Trump? Because we care about results more than what they say.
And that's also why so many people hate him. When you say people got TDS and stuff, his character is the reason that happens.
Well, a lot of them don't understand him. They keep getting everything wrong about him.
So you think he has good character, and the liberals are just getting things wrong?
Yeah, because every time anything about any war, he's like, I want peace. And for the most part, he doesn't really like look at this situation. He's on Israel's side, but he's also on the Arab people's side because guess what? He went to Qatar, he went to Saudi, he went to all those places, made friends with all of them, and they actually helped him to get the Hamas or whatever to agree to this peace deal. I mean, he did the footwork. We saw it ourselves. Biden would have never done any of that shit.
I hear what you said, but you believe President Trump has good character, and the Democrats are just misinterpreting him.
Yeah, because he cares. He wants this country to succeed, and he wants peace across the world because he wants everyone to do business and make money and get rich.
Did you not hear what he said at Charlie Kirk's funeral? I hate my opponents. I don't wish to. That's good character to you.
Well, that's because they're his opponents. They wish bad for him, so he's not gonna wish good for them.
Whereas his opponents
Charlie
have.
Kirk would wish good on his enemies, even the ones, like the wife. She forgave the guy, even though he killed her husband.
I don't
Trump
think
wouldn't do that.
So when he goes on the internet and he starts trolling people, that's good character to you?
I mean, it's got its own purpose. I hated it at first, but it works for him, and as long as it's getting the job done, you gotta take the good with the bad.
Well, you do know bad character can get the job done too. You said he has good character. We can debate on whether he's getting the job done or not, but you're saying he has good character. I'm trying to find out where that's coming from.
What is this? Oh, everything with you has to be black and white. He has to be like pro-Palestine or pro-Israel. He can't be both. He has to be pro-Russia or pro-Putin or pro-Zelensky. He can't be both. I mean, and everything's not black and white. It's
okay. Let me give you a few examples, because obviously Trump does a lot of this stuff. When he took to social media and posted a picture of Biden hog-tied in the trunk of a car, is that good character or bad character?
He was being funny, but let's just say that's bad.
Okay.
But you're saying he has never done anything good either?
No,
He's
but
both.
I'm
He's got good characteristics and bad characteristics.
well, that's fine. But when you say
one or the other,
that's fine. But when you say has he ever done anything good versus bad, the people that he's pissing off, he's done nothing good for them. He's just continuing to do bad things to them.
well, he just saved a bunch of people in Palestine, but
He didn't save any Democrats.
I don't know. Maybe there's Democrats in Palestine. You never know.
Okay. The point I'm making is simple. He has bad character towards Democrats. I don't know why you even tried to suggest otherwise.
His opponents, maybe, but he's also got a good character. He's got both. It's like any other human. He's got good character.
He does not have good character towards Democrats. He does not have good. You are wrong about that. When it comes to Democrats, he does not have any good character towards them at all.
No, they just fucking doing everything in their power to oppose him, and he's fighting back. That's his job. He's not supposed to help them. Is he supposed to help them beat him? Like, is he supposed to be giving them the shit they need to beat him? I mean, he's trying to win, right?
He's already won. He's president.
No, but he's got a job to do for 4 years.
So the stuff he's doing on so the trolling he's doing on social media, is he's trying to win?
Yes. He's trying to win. He's got goals to achieve, and he does everything he needs to achieve them.
So when he posts a picture of Shypocalypse on his social media account and says Chicago is going to find out why we call it the Department of War, tell me how Democrats should view that.
I mean, it got us talking about it. It got us discussing that.
Talking about it how? Talking about it how?
To fix it.
Talking about it how? How did it get people talking about it?
How many days talking about it and talking about the things that Chicago needs to do better?
Okay, but talking about it in a negative way, right?
We're just talking about it, negative and positive. I mean, the first step to solving any problem is admitting there's a problem. And for some reason, you guys still refuse to admit that Chicago has a crime problem.
No, I think the problem is you and I have had this conversation many times, is that I say all the time, you can use whatever search engine you want and search for the top most crime-ridden and dangerous cities in America. And then you have to ask, why is Chicago getting so much attention when it's not even anywhere near number one? Why are all those other cities getting skipped over?
Because it has the most shootings and murders.
Yeah, and see, you and I disagree with that. Completely disagree with that.
They do. There's no disagreement. They have the most shootings and murders.
They have the most.
I think
they have the most people. They have the most. They have the most people.
No, New York has way more people. Yet they beat New York in shootings and murders every fucking year of the fucking century.
Yeah, but so all of the cities that have a much higher per capita murder rate, why are they getting skipped over?
Because they don't have the most. Chicago has the most.
I thought you were solving crime. You're not just going for the most. You can actually. Trump has proven you can actually deploy the National Guard to more than one place at once. Why are you skipping over all of these liberal cities in red states that have a high crime rate? He's showing you can do it in more than one city. Why is he skipping over them?
And he's trying. He's not. He didn't just go for Chicago. He went for Portland, and he went for a place in Tennessee.
That ain't what
think
that
there's
is
more
not
than
what
these
I'm
four
asking you.
places he's trying
That's
to get
not what
done.
I'm asking you. What I'm asking you is if you research the top 10 most crime-ridden cities in America, why are most of those being skipped over? Portland is not in the top 10 by any means at all. Why are those cities getting skipped over?
Well, because he's got a reason to go into Portland to protect ICE, because the ICE facility there is always under attack. They got protesters threatening to dox fucking ICE people.
I thought the goal was to lower crime.
I mean, that is the ultimate goal, but he needs a reason to go to Chicago. He's not like DC.
I'm still trying to figure out why the most violent cities are getting skipped over. You're giving me everything but a reason for that. People are getting killed in those cities. Why are you skipping over them?
Because he doesn't have the power to go into them yet.
How could you go in Chicago and Portland, but you don't have the power to go into St. Louis? Explain that.
I told you, Portland, because there's people there attacking the ICE facilities. And I'm sure Chicago is the same shit. So if you don't want him to show up, stop attacking ICE.
Okay, but I'm asking, you're not even talking about the violence in St. Louis. Why is that? He's completely mum on it, not even mentioning it.
Because unlike Chicago, it's going to be a little harder to do St. Louis because St. Louis's violence is more personal. Plus St. Louis solves most of its murders. Where Chicago's murders are unsolved because they're just gang violence.
You can talk about biological males playing in women's sports and dudes taking a knee on the field of an NFL game, but you can't talk about violence in St. Louis. Is that what I'm hearing?
Because St. Louis is a tiny city, man. Chicago's a huge city.
What makes you say
talk about the big cities first? You talk about where there's the most murder and shootings first.
What makes you say St. Louis is a tiny city? I mean, how big is Portland?
Listen, we talk about. I was hearing about Chicago every day. I was watching TV shows about Chicago. Chicago is in my life in a lot of ways. My brother was there. My brother went there to become an ER doctor because shootings. That's where you go to become a because they have that. I don't think anything you're saying is going to excuse why the top most crime-ridden cities on the list are not even being discussed. There is no excuse for not discussing this stuff. Chicago is a lot more important than St. Louis.
That doesn't.
When it comes to America.
It ain't so important that we're not even going.
Chicago all the time. I rarely hear about St. Louis.
Yeah, because you rarely hear about St. Louis because it's in a Republican state. That's why.
No, I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about politics aside. St. Louis is not something we think about all the time. I don't go visit. There's no TV shows about St. Louis. It's not a popular city like Chicago and New York and these other big cities.
Yeah. Okay, so why isn't New Orleans a big?
World famous. St. Louis, I doubt, is world famous.
New Orleans is world famous, and it's at the top of the list. Why aren't he there? Why not there?
New Orleans isn't like Chicago. Plus, New Orleans is tiny.
So in other words, it doesn't matter how violent the city is as long as it's tiny.
Yeah, you start with the big cities that have big problems and fix them. I mean, I'm sure you'd love to go to New York, but New York isn't as bad as Chicago.
Do you actually believe this stuff?
100%. I think, if you used any other city, I would agree with you. But the fact that you keep Chicago has a fucking problem and it needs to be fixed.
That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
Portland. I don't think Portland needs the National Guard. I'm with you there. When it comes to all these other cities, I'm with you.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Trump is not even mentioned in these cities, and they have a huge crime problem. Now, I mean, you can talk about bigger cities. The fact that he ain't even mentioning them, there's no excuse for that. The guy talks and tweets 24 hours a day, not even mentioning it.
He mentions a lot of cities.
He ain't mentioning them. He's not mentioning them. He's not even mentioning them.
He mentions whatever's on the top of his head.
Right.
And of course, Chicago, more popular cities.
No, he mentions liberal cities and liberal states. As long as your city is in a Republican.
Liberal. The fact that you're like, oh, it's a liberal city, that's why he doesn't mention it. That's bullshit. These big cities are always going to be liberal.
After all the stuff you just said, you actually are able to recognize bull.
Yeah, because I listen to you all day. Not you, but your callers. I
can't believe I mean, you're
They're like, you
making.
don't push back. What do they call this? If this is not pushing back on MAGA, what the fuck? What do they want? They just don't want you to speak to MAGA. That's what they really want. Then they'll be happy. Then
Well,
they'll say, you do a good job.
well, that's because in your case, you say such wild stuff that you make it easy. I want you to have a conversation with a buddy. Give me a moment, Mike. Good evening.
Let's go, Michael.
What's going on?
What up? What up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey, MAGA Reacts.
Let's go. What's up?
Question for you, sir.
Let's go.
Do you know the top 15 most violent cities in the country?
No.
I had the list in front of me when we were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. I don't have it
How
with me
many?
right now.
How many of those are in red states?
I don't know. I
In
really
order for
don't care what
at
state
least,
they're in.
at least, well, you should, because you have to get the governor involved, don't you?
Yeah.
To get the National Guard in, yes.
Yeah, so you have to. So how come the Republican governors, how come he's not going and talking to them?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know everything that comes to mind.
You do
I don't
know.
know why they don't ask him these questions.
You do know he playing
Can
politics.
Yeah, he's 100% playing politics. So can you honestly address crime if you're not addressing it in the priority that it deserves? I mean, why would you, if you have a heart condition, why would you go to the doctor and have them look at your ankle sprain first?
Listen, I agree with you guys when it comes to that. I just
So
think
why is he not
Chicago is the priority.
following that
Chicago's the
line?
#1 place that needs it.
No, it's
I
not.
think everything else you say as far as crime and him and National Guard, I agree with you. Except Chicago.
Chicago is not the most violent city on
It's not the most
crime, on
shootings.
violent crime.
It's got the most shootings.
Violent- is that the only type of violence? Is that the
I found
only?
that out the other day.
Well, wait a minute,
Is
Mike.
that
Wait,
the-
hang
is
on,
that
Mike.
the only type of violent crime?
Well, Mike, the way
Even the
he
murders.
views things, yeah, the way MAGA view things is, he believes the town with the most murder should get the attention, even if Chicago is 10 times the size of another city. Because there's more murders in that city, he believes Chicago should get more attention, even if the smaller town per capita has more murders.
Cities in the country. It should be fixed. It should
So
be
let me ask
safe.
you. So did the raid on that apartment complex have anything to do with murders?
I don't know what that rate had to do with. I don't know what they were looking for.
Wow, hey,
I don't know.
you need
What
to
does
do
that
more
have to
homework,
do
my
with
guy. If you're
Chicago's
gonna get up here and have
crime
you say again.
What does it have to do with Chicago's crime problem and how many people
Well,
get
because-
unalive or whatever?
I'll explain it to you. Because spending those resources to go into an apartment complex because you got information that there were some immigrants there, illegal immigrants there, and disrupt an entire apartment complex when I thought that the objective is what you said. So now because ISIS
You
is
can
there
have
for
two
the
objectives.
murders.
You know that, right?
Hold on. Well, if that's the case, then you can have those same two objectives in every state, right?
He doesn't have unlimited troops, and it's a fight every time he has to do it.
Oh,
So
so
if
if you
with the #1 city, which is Chicago.
so if you have limited troops, wouldn't you want to deploy them to the place that was #1, #2, or #3 on that list? If you're limited in resources,
No, you gotta apply them to where they're gonna do the most good, which is Chicago and New York and LA. Those cities are small. Like,
says him or the stats.
Says the stats. All those murders are personal murders. They're not like
Again, MAGA reacts. Again,
personal murders. When you kill your brother-in-law or whatever because he slept with your wife.
I said stat, sir. What you just said is not a stat.
Okay.
The stat is most of the murders get solved.
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you.
That's the
I'm gonna say
stat.
this. I'm gonna give it back to you, Tim.
All right.
If what you just said was a stat, it wouldn't be unsolved. Dude, I need you to think. You just told us the situation. That would have told you who the damn culprit was. I need you to take off your idiot hat sometimes.
Are you listening?
That you say these things? I did. I literally heard you.
Yeah, because they're personal
actually-
crimes, they're easy to solve, and that's why they get solved in St. Louis. St. Louis has 150
If they were
people
personal-
unalive. It's number one, but it only has 150.
If it's-
Chicago 6.
All right, I gotta move it on.
This is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, moving on.
This is what I'm gonna say, Tim, and I want you to hear me, MAGA. If it's a personal crime that you can identify, then you're assuming, then you're actually identifying a suspect when you say that. Else, how can you call it a personal crime?
Exactly.
All right.
And
That's
the
what I'm
National
saying.
Guard, but they can't stop street crimes like what you have in Chicago.
Yeah. They don't even have arrest powers, MAGA react. So the
They're
National
not
Guard,
going to stop
the National Guard is not going
killing his
to.
wife, but they will stop random.
I'll
drive-bys in
tell
Chicago.
you something, MAGA reacts. I'll just tell you something. When you think about the geographical size of Chicago, if you wanted to stop murders, it would be easier to stop them in St. Louis somewhere because it's a small. When you start with a big ass city like that, you're gonna need thousands of troops to deal with that town. You're not, and you're not going to stop
the
it.
south side and the west side. You don't have to cover the
The west
70%
side of
Chicago
the
that's safe.
west side of Chicago is probably geographically as big as St. Louis, and that ain't even touching the south side.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly my point.
So why not
If you
start?
said
Why not go to a small city where
They're
you can?
more violent than St. Louis.
All right, I gotta
That's
move
why
it
it's
on.
so
I gotta
intense.
move it on. I appreciate you coming through. All right, and I listen, and I don't subscribe to that theory. You know, based on what he is saying, the National Guard would probably go to Chicago and never leave. I mean, when you talk about the city with, you know, the amount of people that's in Chicago, the millions of people that's in Chicago, I dare say that even with the National Guard present there, they're still going to have more murders than most towns in America. It's just a big ass fucking city. I mean, Chicago is multiples. I think St. Louis has like 300 and some thousand people. In Chicago has like almost 3 million. So Chicago has like 10 times the people of St. Louis. Even with the National Guard there, they're probably going to still have more murders than most major American cities. Based on his logic, you would never get to those other towns. You would just never get to them because Chicago is always going to still have more murders. You would just keep piling National Guard on Chicago over and over and over again. That's just a waste of money at that point. Looking in the comments, though, meanwhile, you're letting people get murdered in all those other cities because you're ignoring them. How many gangs in Chicago, says Diomos? I don't know, but I don't believe that most of the murders in Chicago are happening by way of gangs. A lot of independents commit crimes. I mean, the guy who is waiting to rob you for your car, he ain't necessarily in a gang. I mean, a lot of the individuals. You ever watch Police Activity or Active Self-Protection? You watch some of the crimes. The main gangbangers, a lot of times it's just one or two dudes doing something on their own. Most of the criminals are more, I mean, a lot of that shit is independent. It ain't, you know, big gangs anymore always acting like that. A lot of that shit is independents just trying to hit a lick or on the come up. So in gangs are just like Antifa. Anybody can be that. If you want to chase getting rid of gangs, anybody can do that shit. Y'all acting like it's Chicago from 15 years ago. I just think the right has a hard on for Chicago, period. Because it has a liberal governor, it has a liberal mayor, it has ties to Obama. It had a history of tough gun laws. You can, for the most part, get a gun in Chicago now. But everything about Chicago is liberal. So it makes for a better target than Memphis or St. Louis or some of these other areas that actually have a Republican governor. Everything about Chicago is liberal. So it makes for because that's what Trump is targeting. He's not targeting crime. He's targeting liberals. I mean, he's came out and said that. So the more liberal you are, the more likely you are to have problems out of President Trump. Real quick in the comments, though. Piscar is fat and loud and wrong. You're talking about the governor of Illinois? Okay. Why would you go into an environment that is against your actions instead of proving the efficiency in a place where you have support? That's a perfect question. To Chicago, where they're putting up resistance, when you can go solve crime in St. Louis or somewhere where they're not and put up better numbers. because it ain't about solving crime. I've told you guys before on this, and I'll go to the next caller. By the way, tap the screen, get us on up to 120,000. I think we help your boy reach the, I don't know if we reached it or not, but feel free to support the program. I already kind of covered this in regards to President Trump when I stated in the video that if you do your search engine of choice and put in the top most 10 gang-ridden, violent, crime-ridden cities in America, you have to ask yourself, why did Portland get a National Guard deployment and in Chicago's not in the top 10 and all of this stuff, and LA's gotten one, and these cities are not in the top 10. The point is, if there is, because they become disgruntled with the performance of President Trump, you already know what's going to happen. They're going to riot. They're going to be speaking out at colleges and universities. You'll see them making jokes on late night TV, burning the flag and all of this kind of shit. That's what Trump is going after. Why do I say that? Because that's all the shit he's talking about. Going after late night TV hosts, making it a crime to burn the flag, going after protesters on colleges and universities. That's what he's going after. He's not trying to make tougher penalties for people who are caught stealing cars or, robbing liquor stores. No, he's going after people who burn the flag, going after Antifa, the people who are going to speak out against him if you have an uprising. So when you start asking about the deployment of the National Guard, where is the National Guard being deployed? Chicago, DC, Portland, LA, the places where an uprising is most likely to begin. That's what the National Guard is being deployed for. It has nothing to do with lower crime. Lowering crime will be a side effect of it. Obviously, if the military is flooding the city, you will cause the crime rate probably to go down. But the goal is not to lower crime. The goal is to be there when people start uprising. Around this time next year when the midterms come up and he's declaring that there's fraud in polling places and he wants to put, armed men at the polling places. So when the liberals start speaking out and protesting, the military is already there to deal with you. That's what the National Guard is being deployed for. That's why you notice the cities that are being deployed are not the toughest in crime. They're the toughest in liberals. This is where these are liberal strongholds. That's what he's targeting. He's not targeting crime. Otherwise, the cities we're mentioning, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Jackson, Mississippi, that's where they would go. But them aren't liberal strongholds, so those can wait. He's going where the liberals are likely to speak out. So, but it's phrasing it that he's solving crime because it makes sense that way. Anyway, looking in the comments real quick, by the way. Soften the most when it crashes. I don't even know if he's going to really. He's talking about Memphis. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of National Guard going to red states. I don't, because the governors of those states can do that on their own. If you're the governor of Missouri and you think St. Louis is getting out of hand, you can do it on your own. You can deploy the National Guard on your own. You don't need the president to do it. Notice ain't none of them doing that. In fact, Tennessee, despite Memphis, they deployed their National Guard to D.C. So did Ohio. So did Louisiana. Despite all of the violence that's going on in those states, they sent their National Guard to D.C. Why would your National Guard be in D.C.? Why would the Louisiana National Guard be in D.C. when New Orleans is more violent than D.C.? So, yeah, it has nothing to do with lowering crime. It's about being there to squash those uprisings. It would still be millions of dollars cheaper on the American taxpayer to hire more D.C. police than spend that money on the National Guard on the ground. I agree with that slippery game, and I think you may be talking to someone else, but I do agree with that it would be far more advantageous for the community, for lowering crime and everything, to expand the size of the Metropolitan Police Force. It's going to be people from the community. They're going to be trained in military duties. Just everything about it would be better. Just expand the size of the police, not send in the National Guard. But you don't even hear Trump talking about expanding the size of the police forces in these areas. He's not even discussing it because it ain't about lowering crime. You could ask anybody, if you wanted to lower crime in this city, what would you do? I would deploy the National Guard, and that's the only thing I would do. Most people would say, I would put money on the books for more cops. Give them better training. This is the kind of stuff you hear even from the right. They would say probably expand the size of the police. I would just employ the National Guard and that's it. Nobody would do that because that ain't the goal. It's to lower crime. Blue cities have no money left. They gave it to illegals. You believe that Vermont gave all this money to illegals, Robert Kennedy? You believe all blue city? You think no? That doesn't make any sense. There's plenty of blue cities. Jeez. Yeah, I am watching that Teddy Owens. Anyway, I do appreciate, speaking of that, the 116,000 likes. I do got to step away now that you mentioned that Teddy Owens. It is your boy Tim the Handsome Liberal. Feel free to follow this program if you like civilized dialogue from all sides of the aisle. We're on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and Facebook. And of course, on YouTube, give your boy a sub. We'll see you folks tomorrow. Guys, take care. Have a good night. I don't know why that does that, but thank you. I don't know. Why does it do that all the time?